This episode of Limit Break Radio is made possible by our generous Patreon donors, including Thata Maui of Fairy, Kaizian Dax of Lamia, Kooky Delight of Balmung. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio.
Live from Eorzea.
Limit Break Radio. With your hosts, Nero.
Riding dirty, no doubt. Bubba Kush.
Kahlo.
Okay, yes, I definitely remember doing that, but also I would never do that.
Juxtaposition.
I'm an action figure.
Ascalia.
Hey, don't listen to them. Shut up.
And Mika.
But perhaps first, a nerd salad.
LimitBreakRadio.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Limit Break Radio, episode number 39. A radio
repatched.
Nico, shut up.
Returned? Really? Okay, fine, whatever. Fine, repatched, sure. Welcome to the show.
Why don't we bring that bit back every 5 episodes?
I don't know.
It's a terrible
idea.
Because it flows so well.
I don't know.
It sounds so, when you actually hit it, you know?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes we have a pretty decent one.
We do.
Not today.
No.
Welcome to Limit Break Radio, the Late Show edition. And I want to thank all, 249 people joining us right off the rip here at 7 p.m. on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. Thank you guys so much for joining us and hanging out. If you haven't yet, hit that follow button and join us every time we go live on twitch.tv. Because we do plan on stepping up our streaming game here at Limit Break Radio and over on our other channel, Final Encountercast. By the way, if you haven't heard our other show devoted to talking about video games, you can check that out over at finalencountercast.com. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining us today. It is an exciting episode, if for no other reason then we have some brand new studios to show off. Oh, look at this.
Look at that.
Man.
Props to Juxta for interior decorating that bitch.
Well, yeah, he was responsible for the
redesign of the studio,
the direction of redesigning. But yeah, I
finally got those stupid microphones out of our faces too.
Yeah.
Well, for very good reason. In patch 3.1, we got
a present.
We did. We got a very special edition, which is awesome, and it's the Idle Cam, which I can't wait to initiate and start using here on the show. We're going to start it in just a minute.
Funny story. Half of the things I bought from the auction house for the studio redesign
did not make it.
But also came from our benefactor. I bought stuff from her.
Oh! Wow, nice job.
She's like, so do you want the money back? I'm like, no, it's fine. Just keep it.
Oh, my God.
So when you go to her in a few weeks and ask for money...
Yeah. It'll just come full circle.
Yeah.
That's economics.
Plus, now that I've started playing, she started sending me stuff to sell again, so it works out really well.
Yeah. All right. So, I just wanted to kind of spin the camera in the studio, take a look at the redesign. We spent a lot of time redesigning this with the Idle Cam in mind and running a lot of tests on the Idle Cam as well.
2 hours worth of tests.
Yeah. So
they Martha Stewarted the shit out of this place.
So
it's a good thing.
Here's what I want to encourage, because basically the Idle Cam will focus on anything that's targetable in the room, which means that it will target the door, and it'll also target the wine in the back,
in the lounge,
where no one is sitting right now. which they're doing that because they think they won't get seen. And I'm telling you right now, you'll actually have a better shot of getting seen on the stream if you populate places where people would normally sit. That's where we've tried to redirect the idle camera eye. So for those of you who are in the studio who join us here live on Sargentanus, I want to thank you and also encourage you to sit in the actual seats designed for people, not on the floor. Don't stand around the desk anymore. We used to forgive that because it was really the only way that people would be able to get on stream. But we want to encourage you to sit down and also put out minions too, because
preferably minions that are like mid or high. If they're running around on the floor, not
so
great.
much. Not so
flying
much.
Things, those are great.
Those are better.
Yep.
So yeah, we're gonna continue to play with the idle cam, and we want to invite you to have fun with it as well, and to have fun in the studio. So here we go. Why don't we go ahead and engage it? There it goes.
Perfect example. Someone has their fucking goose who just ran under the desk.
Yes. I should probably.
Whose goose is that?
I should probably change that.
Is that your goose, Nero?
It is my
Get
goose.
your goose out of here.
It's my ugly duckling, yeah. So yeah, you guys will get a good. I mean, some of the camera shots will be stinkers. Some of them will be all right. But yeah, please, try to have fun with the idle cam and sit in places where we have seating, including up at the bar too, because we did. There's lots of seating. You don't have to sit on the fucking floor. So anyway, all right. Welcome to the show. Welcome to episode number 39. So last night we officially released the roast of Nero Grigori.
Boy, did we
on YouTube, and boy, we want to thank all of your comments so far on our YouTube channel, and
nothing but positive and supportive things to be said.
Of course, yeah, but
that happens on YouTube.
If you want to check that out, you can either head on over to our YouTube our YouTube page, youtube.com/limitbreakradio, or we did post it at our website, limitbreakradio.com as well, which you can also leave comments there. So we invite you to leave some comments at Limit Break Radio, and you can comment on anything, any of the episodes, any of the videos we post, any of the blog posts, and we're also going to step up posting to Limit Break Radio as well as Final Encountercast, and so you can look forward to that in the next couple of weeks. But I want to thank Ascalia for putting all of that work into the roast video. You did a great job. I mean, it sounded great. Everything was really audible. B, you did a great job inserting those, inserting the videos we had sent in into the video, and I mean, like, it really gave you a good idea of what the event was that we put forward. Like, it went as smoothly on tape as it did on screen, and
for something that like a lot of ways we were just kind of winging once we got there. Like, we knew what we were going to be doing, but at the same time, it's like the final order of everyone's roast wasn't settled until an hour before the show started, even if then.
Right.
No, I had a pretty good idea in my head. I carried you. You're welcome.
So, I mean, some people went up there and improv. I mean, but I do, again, I want to thank everyone, all of the roasters, all of you guys in the room. Also, Samus Rageborn, who came in he drove all the way in to join us for that.
It's too bad he couldn't stick around longer. He's a really cool guy.
It's also too bad he couldn't be funny either.
But I also
girlfriend was super cute though.
I also want to thank Joe.
How did you get a hottie like that?
Good one. I also want to thank Mr. Happy, Joe Never, and Ethis Asher for sending in their roast videos.
No, you already thanked Ethis on the last show. This show is a fuck you, Ethis.
But
Mr. Happy, he tried.
He tried. It was an effort. Let's put it that way.
Within 48 seconds, he sucked all the fun out of the.
Oh, that's hard.
Hey, you know what? It's more than Nika did, and she's part of the fucking show.
That's true.
I tried so hard, but everything I came up with was either not funny, not mean, or it was. Yeah,
it would have fit right in with what Happy did.
You know what? Like we said, you should have just got a hold of Nikki 7 and been like, "Can you give me some material?"
Seriously, yeah, that probably would have worked out well for you. Anyway, thank you to everyone who showed up and everyone checking it out on YouTube. It's really awesome, and we invite you to continue to check it out. And if you haven't yet, go watch it. It's about an hour long, and I'm surprised it
didn't feel like an hour.
It did not. It absolutely didn't feel like an hour.
flew by.
It felt like 4 hours when I was up there.
Yeah, there are some legit jokes in there.
Welcome to the stage, man.
Yeah. No, for something where we saw that we were going to get an hour and a half, and we're just like, the hell are we going to do with that much time?
Right, yeah.
And then we went an hour 10, like, well, good thing we had that extra half hour.
Yeah, definitely. So we had another video that we worked on, not as a part of Limit Break Radio, but actually as a part of Final Encountercast, which you'll be able to check out over at Final Encountercast's YouTube page, as well as finalencountercast.com.
Make sure that your will is up to date, because afterwards you're going to want to
we will cross-post it, and we will also add it in like some sort of playlist.
Can we put like a XXX rating on it, just like
warning mature content.
Warning mature content. The maturest of content.
The
not safe for human consumption.
Barely safe for your after-work orgies.
Yeah, that thing that you put at the beginning of most of the Patreon videos, like that, there should be something like that, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, yep. So look forward to that. That'll be out this week.
Yeah,
this week. Okay.
Oh man.
So
Goiku Star 7 said the woman in the crowd was the best roaster in the room. To be honest, go away, Katie. That was our drunk friend, Katie. Oh my god,
she was very drunk. Yeah,
she was so drunk.
Yep, she sure was.
She could stand up though, so it's an improvement from last year.
It certainly is.
That's you're not wrong. So, all right. So we do have a little bit of FF14 news to talk about.
This is a Limit Breaking News Update.
And really, the only piece of FF14 news that's really new is the FF11 crossover event has started. And if you haven't done it yet, go do it. Especially if you were a FF11 player at all at any point. I did mine.
A lot of nice throwbacks.
I did mine today, and yes, there was a lot of feels. I have to admit, there was a lot of feels there for me. But you have until December 31st, the end of the year, at 7 a.m. Pacific to be able to get it done. It's called the Maiden's Rhapsody. You can start it in Limsa Lominsa. It's not much of news, but it's really all we got. But I do want to take a second and talk about it because it really was, man, did it hit. It hit right in the feels, and I have to say, it definitely made me a little bit more driven to go back and wrap up FF11 definitively.
I was going to say, from what I understand, Nika, how did that turn out for you?
I don't know. I logged in and I had no idea what I was like, how to click on things or like do anything. I'm like, wait, how do I get to Sandoria? Like, how do I get to Ottergon? I don't know.
How many years did you play that game?
Well, she never even got a character to 99. So
no, I just realized that there's a home point teleporting thing now.
Yes.
So I was like clicking on home points. I'm like, I really don't want to do that.
There is a ton. There's a ton that's changed about FF11 now. Yeah.
But what I want to know
is it took you like a whole 45 minutes before you were like, fuck this, I quit.
Kind of, but what I realized, like, is that when I zoned into Sandoria, I got the cutscene for the Rhapsodies of Vanadil. So do I have to buy Seekers or get to 99 to do that content, or can I just do it?
I think Rhapsodies you get, just everyone gets that.
I don't know. I truthfully don't know.
Because I don't really care that much about
because
Seekers.
you will have to go to Seekers areas eventually.
Yeah.
Do you for the Rhapsodies?
I don't know. I mean, I assume that you do, but I have no idea.
Where I am in it, it's starting to include Seekers stuff, so eventually I assume you'll have to.
Guys, 14 show.
Yeah. So anyway,
Shut up, Nika.
go do the Maiden's Rhapsody again, especially if you played FF11. I sort of wish that I had wrapped up FF11 before doing that, to be honest with you, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. So, but yeah, I definitely really enjoyed that. But that's really all that we have in FF14 news at the moment. Otherwise, we have just been having our first week of hands-on with 3.1. Of course, that's coming out Tuesday. That dropped on Tuesday, and so far, I think we've got a pretty good idea of between all of us of what content is there.
Two of us even did Lords of Verminion.
I did the tutorial.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all Escalia did.
Yeah.
So anyway,
wait, 1 sec, Nika. Lords of Verminion was your very first impression. I'm going to suck at this.
My first impression was there's way too much for me to care about learning. That was my impression.
Escalia sucked at it.
I just sucked at it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, and Nika, you had said this earlier in the host chat. There's no rewards to get out of it. There's
what? Twintania minion.
You get that just from Lords of Verminion?
Yes.
Because
you have to go through all of the AI stuff.
From the tutorial, it seems very like it would be very interactive and very engaging because there's a lot of things going on at once, but there's just so much to learn, like what skills do what and how much costs where and what strategy, like who should be attacking what. And I'm like, how much time would this require me to invest in this when really it doesn't get me that much?
They put a lot of thought into it, but it is like learning a whole new game.
Yeah, it really is. It's like it could be a game all by itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
that nobody wanted.
It's like that's something that maybe I would like put in my 3DS and take with me on a road trip. It's not something I would want to do instead of my MMO content.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, they don't even. I mean, they had talked about the idea of having a linkable triple triad thing with an app and being able to play. I mean, like they haven't delivered on that. I mean,
there is the triple triad app. It's just not connected to 14.
I'm just saying, but like honestly, it's like why? Who asked for this? Why and why do I care? There's still no reason for me to actually do it.
It's like the game itself is pretty solid. It's well thought out. It's just going to be a lot to learn and pick up if you want to do it, and they don't have the incentive to do it yet.
It's basically there if you want to be logged on to Final Fantasy 14, but don't actually want to play Final Fantasy. 14.
Let's assume that you have all of your jobs ostensibly leveled to 60, and there's literally nothing else for you to do. Maybe then do Lords of Verminion, but at that point, I would be playing another game.
Yeah,
which is what you're doing when you're playing that, which makes sense for Triple Triad. It makes sense to like why you would play that in this world. Like it's a throwback to 8. This isn't a throwback to anything. Like there's no reason for it to exist or for anyone to do it.
It's a really good RTS game.
Oh my god, it really isn't.
Well, it's a kind of a good one.
Is it?
It's okay.
Is it an even kind of good one? Honestly, as an RTS fan, I'm not an RTS fan. As an RTS fan, Juxta, you've done it.
I'd say it has the depth required to be a good game. I don't know, like if I would actually play it.
It just needs rewards.
Yeah, I mean,
even if it was just good MGP per hour, that would be enough.
It's actually not that bad for like the challenge. Like you get 4K per week.
True.
Actually, you don't get 8K if you do all of like 10 battles or 15.
So one new mithril pack, which I got a 5-star out of this morning. But
nice. Somebody sell me on it. Like somebody explain why this is a good idea at all.
Nero, when you defeat another minion, they literally explode, blood and gore everywhere.
No, I don't believe. I don't believe you. Secondly, not enough.
If you who does not like RTS games would be impossible to sell.
Yeah, you're not gonna like if you don't like RTS games in the first place. If you like the gameplay within RTS games, then you will probably like this game.
Yeah.
It's commentated by that one dude from Metalocalypse, the Nathan guy.
Yeah, that's also not
lying.
true. Yeah.
He just said sell him on it. He didn't say be honest and sell him on it.
Yeah,
advertising is inherently deceptive.
Well, especially when we're talking about 14.
It is really thought out. Like while I was doing the tutorial, I'm like, I could see how this could be really fun and really like fast-paced while playing against another player. I just can't see myself taking the time to memorize and learn all of the things that go along.
There are topless Makote cheerleaders. All right, the downside is their Juxta.
Can we?
Oh well, that's unfortunate. Oh, I'm playing it on controller as balls. Don't do that.
Sorry, I don't have the tits for it.
I didn't have a problem.
Well, you do right now.
That's true.
Honestly, right now, Ascalia really doing anything with a controller is balls.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, really, anything you do is balls. And did we not switch you over to keyboard?
Yeah, that didn't stick.
How did that not stick?
Because it sucked even worse.
Because you had too much control over your character?
No, because he sucked even worse, that's why.
Well, I was terrible.
Yeah.
But then someone told me that you could just turn on other action bars to keep track of your offload cooldowns.
You know what the problem is? The problem is he went to keyboard, he's like, I miss having just two big sticks in front of me that I can just manhandle back and forth. I need that controller back. It was a gay joke.
Yeah, but it wasn't a good one.
It was
about having two dicks in front of you.
Yeah, I got it, but it just wasn't good.
Juxta, what did you think?
Just stop. That's what I thought.
It got a chuckle out of me.
All right, thank you,
It got a chuckle out of me.
Brofist?
No, not enough to brofist.
Gotcha.
Gross.
That's what happens when you leave your hand hanging there.
I need Purell. Anyway, all right, so let's talk about 3.1. By the way, if you'd like to join us to talk about 3.1, we'd like to get your reactions on what you thought of 3.1, its size comparative to earlier 2.x patches, and whether or not you're satisfied. So you can give us a call, 810-515-8715, or drop us a message at the Skype account Limit Break Radio. Let us know what your character name and server is, and we will get you on as soon as possible. We've also got a ton of emails to try to catch up on.
Oh my god!
Only 10 new pages.
No,
we're gonna drown in them.
Tons of emails. So we're gonna try to get to those. And I see first here on the outline. Thank you. Is the MSQ? I'd like to kind of save that for last.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'd like to
I
save
don't
that
know
for
why we left Juxta in charge of the outline this week, because I feel like anybody else would have put that at the bottom.
You shut the fuck up, because I just put this together today. So that means all of you chuckle fucks didn't do shit.
Well, first of all, I remember telling you Sunday on our way home, I'm not doing the outline this week.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
and I didn't know we were going to do spoilers today about the MSQ.
Hey, before you get too busy throwing yourself up on that cross here, buddy, 90% of that outline was copy and pasted from the last show, because we literally read one episode. So
one email.
Actually, no.
Or one email, yeah, sorry.
Let's be fair. Like the last few...
No, I think I am being fair.
No, the last few outlines have been copy and pasted jobs, and the fact I put like a discussion topic in there with like a bunch of bullet points, that's more effort than has been put in.
I mean, those bullet points are really hard to format in Nero.
Totally. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna leave the MSQ discussion for last, but we are gonna get into some spoiler discussion. If you haven't done 3.1 story yet, I understand, but it only takes about 3 hours if you're not even really trying that hard. If you're a
Nero.
Yeah, if you're not even really trying that hard. So we'll give you a spoiler warning, but maybe bail out at that point. But let's start by talking about everything else, because you don't actually have to do any of the MSQ to do anything else here.
That's the other thing. There's no fights in it till literally the very end.
There really is no connection. And so let's start off here talking about Void Ark, basically the Crystal Tower analog raid that we got, the new 24-man raid that we got. And visually, I'm really impressed with it.
Yeah, no, it was
very
pretty
fun.
good. I mean, even all the bosses were brand new mobs too, weren't they? Not even anything that was like copied out of FF11 either. They were just straight up new original stuff.
Yeah, most everything.
With the exception of the last boss, technically in a way being a Lamia, but besides that, it was really cool looking.
Yes, yeah, definitely. They did a lot of really cool original stuff.
Mm-hmm. The music too.
Music is very good.
Oh my god, the music in the final fight was so fucking awesome.
The only thing that I have is when you're just running from like fight to fight, there's a little like maybe 15-20 second rift in the music that kind of seems a little weird and out of place for in there.
I heard a chord from like Final Fantasy IX. Like I keep figuring out it's gonna go into like a Final Fantasy IX vibe, but then just goes in a completely different direction.
I don't know if I heard that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But for the most part, I do like it. It's not.
It's good. I like it.
It sort of keeps this sort of weird sky piratey thing, because you are there,
Sky pirates.
Yeah,
Sky
it's like
pirates,
exciting.
yes.
You're on an adventure looking for booty and loot.
Yeah, let's talk.
It's not just all like.
Let's talk a little bit about that storyline, because
about that booty.
And that booty. Yeah, absolutely.
We all know the booty.
So far, has probably one of the better storylines that in FF14. I'm gonna say, especially when you put it up against
Alexander.
Yeah, especially when you put it up, way better than Alexander, and I think even better than Crystal Tower. So
I think by the end of Crystal Tower, it was kind of interesting.
I don't know.
The character's ancestry and stuff was cool.
Yes,
it was only at the very end of Void Ark that it raises those stakes, though. Because again, before that, it's just ghost ship. Let's go get some treasure.
Crystal Tower was kind of boring. It was World of Darkness that was actually interesting.
Yeah, well, it was some of the info bombs that you got on the. Alligans was really, I thought, the stuff out of the Crystal Tower that I liked. But now we're going into what is it? The one with the Miyachi. We're getting some info about the Miyachi civilization.
Was that the 4th calamity, or was it the 6th calamity?
I want to believe fourth. I want to.
All right, and this is the first real big info dump that we've gotten about them, because most everything else that we've ever heard is about Alagon.
Well, yes, in terms of past civilizations, but the other civilizations that were around at the same time were I want to say Baldia was in the area that Ul'dah is in now, and what's the other one?
Silda.
Oh, yes. It may have been Silda. That may have been the time. Or
hold on, Silda isn't an ancient past one, because that was one. That was
no. I'm sorry. No, I take it back. It's Nim. It was the floating city of Nim, and it was Amdapor. So there was Nim, Amdapori, and the Miachi, and we haven't gotten much information about the Miachi. So
we do know that they came from the Lost City, though. Because that's how Diablos is somehow connected to this.
Well, no. Well, we know that Amdapori was the other big civilization. There's always kind of three major civilizations. So Amdapori was
different.
Yeah, was a different area. That was the Gridania area.
But I just want to know how the hell does Diablos get from there to here?
Because in at the end, once you defeat Void Ark and you're talking to Kate Sith, he's sort of giving you the lowdown, explaining what the Void Ark is, which one of us had mentioned. I think it was me. I don't remember if I had came up with the idea, though, that the Void Ark was an arc of people trying to escape something, and maybe it was Anir who said maybe they were trying to escape the Calamity, which they were. Giant flood. They made a Void Ark. It was called the Void Ark because it was literally powered by the Void.
By the Void Scent.
Which was then being harnessed by Void mages. They were mages that specifically toyed around with dark magic and the voids and whatnot, which is a big thing that the Maca, or what the hell are they called?
Malachi?
Miachi.
The Makachi, whatever.
Miachi. I think it's Miachi.
Yeah, that was one of their big things. So when they're up here, floating on the Void Ark, eventually the Void Scent overpowered them, or they got loose, ran rampant around the Void Ark, taking control.
Makai, sorry.
Yeah, the Makai. And from there, if it was the people who inhabited places like Amdapor and Nim, they were the ones who were on the Void Ark. So it then makes sense, after taking it over, that if there were any survivors left on the ground or whatever, that the Void Scent might go back to those cities to ravage there as well, and that's how Diablos would have ended up in Amdapor.
I just want to address the chat who's saying, just bring on Ethos Asher, you're fucking everything up. Well, we've had this for 6 days, and no, we didn't do any research. We did the fucking thing. We've been playing the game. So, we don't research. We just kind of talk about it. This is what I was able to absorb.
Initial reactions.
Yeah, absorb on the first time of doing it. I only did it once. So calm down, motherfuckers. Calm down. Grab your salt buckets and go back to the salt quarry and chill the fuck out.
Hey,
because it doesn't matter. It's okay.
We shouldn't say fuck that many times in close fucking proximity, because it grates on people's fucking nerves.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Or something.
Lick my balls.
That I'll echo that sentiment. I'll echo that sentiment.
Will you lickle that sentiment?
I'll lickle that sentiment. Yeah.
Gross.
So, what did you guys think of the difficulty of the actual fights themselves?
Way too easy.
I didn't have quite as much ease as what you guys did, because you guys only wiped one time.
Twice.
We never got a full boot. I mean, it never even got close to that. And I mean, it really only took us our party wiping once or twice on
it was
towards the end.
You might have got a pretty good one, because I know our benefactor, they were down to 7 minutes left on the timer when they finally beat it. I wiped, I think, 3 times on Cthulhu, because people weren't dragging the Fubars out of the AoE when he eats them up.
By the way, we know it's not called Cthulhu, but that's what we're going to call it.
That's
so
what it fucking looks like.
Before you get all bent out of shape, chat.
Wait. When I did it with you, did we wipe at all? Because I don't remember.
I don't think we did.
I don't remember.
I honestly don't think we did.
I remember there was one where we all used healer limit break, right?
Yeah, that was during the third boss, the Femoral.
Okay, yeah, what?
The Femoral boss.
The Femoral boss.
The third one. That big nasty monstrosity thing.
Oh,
That's
God.
You know
really
what?
ugly.
I like calling it the Femro Boss better than Cthulhu. Let's call it that from now on. The Femro Boss.
No, it was. I do just remember there was that one that like everyone was dying, but like all 3 parties used healer limit break and we won, which was actually kind of cool.
Yeah,
I like when fights are not
clutch.
so punishing that if you start to fail, you can't recover. I do like when that is a thing, but
I don't know,
I
man.
don't know. I thought the fight seemed. I don't know. The mechanics were kind of. I just feel like there was only like maybe 1 or 2 mechanics in each fight.
But
whereas like Circus Tower, had so many.
Again, though, as we push eye level, it'll just become even easier. And I mean, if day 1 I'm closing my eyes and rolling my penis across the keyboard, then I think there's a problem.
It's not going to get too much easier because our eye level's not going to get that much
Well,
higher.
not to mention the things that at least were
210.
the things that were killing us in my run weren't things that can be out eye level. Like on the final boss, we wiped once because people didn't realize that when you got petrified, it wasn't just a loss of DPS for being petrified. You got those stacks too. So then when she did her like ultimate thing where she like after she splits into 3-8, when she forms back up, she like hits everyone with an AoE. Wiped us once because so many people hadn't bothered to avoid the petrification. They had like 3 or 4 stacks of damage up on them.
Litzor in the chat is absolutely right. The poison room was harder than any boss in that
Oh my god, I had
raid.
no idea what was even going on there. They're just like, kill pods. I'm like, all right. So I'd kill my pods, but nobody was killing the pods in the other party, so we had to kill their pods, and I died like 5 times.
And then suddenly there's like a propeller that sucks all the poison out of the room, but you still die. I have no idea what goes on.
Yeah, exactly. I killed my pod and I still died, and I'm like, I don't, fuck this.
All right, so I don't know, Void Arc, okay, and then the reason to do it is really for the upgrade piece. I mean, like the the I-200 stuff is a snooze.
Yeah, which we found once a week.
Guys,
You get a free upgrade.
I have an
Once a week.
FFXIV.
Okay.
All right, so I'm in Void Arc, right?
Yeah.
Ninja Boots drop on, I think, like the second boss.
Uh-huh.
Some fucking, like, healer or something rolls on them. Bitch, please, you're greeting, I'm needing. So they drop to me. No problem, okay?
Yeah.
We defeat Echidna, right? Ninja body, ninja hands drops. Everybody leaves the party. They fall to the ground.
That shit, dude, seriously.
And now I am never going to see them again. But it is cool now that they actually...
Void Arc shits the ninja stuff, man. We got nothing but ninja drops on our run, too.
It is cool, though, that they actually drop 2 pieces of gear now. So, you obviously have more chances at it. But now you're not going through runs that just give you fucking accessories.
No, we had like 3 pieces of Dragoon feet or something. And no, my
Didn't we get like a Dragoon belt as well in the first boss?
Yeah, and I accidentally greeted, and everyone else had already passed. So I have this awesome. I have this awesome Dragoon belt that I don't even have Dragoon leveled yet. So
yeah,
good job.
Level up your Dragoon.
Anyway,
it's going to be a while before I get to Dragoon.
Yeah, good job, Nika. Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
You took that from a Dragoon who really needed it.
So we got another belt, and we got 2 shoes
everyone else
after.
passed.
Well, yeah, it was going to fall to the floor, which is probably where the Dragoon was.
There are Dragoons starving in Limsa, okay?
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so Void Arc, okay, it'll be all right. People do it once a week, and they'll do it for the thing, and that's it. And
we also have Furry Tractor on the line who wants to talk about Void Arc and the casual side of it.
All right, Furry Tractor, what's going on, man?
Furry Tractor?
Furry Tractor, are you there? Furry Tractor.
Boo.
You're about to lose your chance, man. Are you muted? Check your mic. You got like 5 seconds.
Oh, I heard something.
How about now?
There you go.
There you are.
All right.
Wait, did we...
Charge your mic before this shit.
Oh, man, well...
That's our line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you're you know what? Nope.
Sorry, man.
Smack your face off of your face.
Sorry, you fail. Furry, you're not setting us off on a good foot with the callers here tonight.
It's all right. It just means that the next person can't possibly fail any worse.
Well,
you say that now.
Sorry, man.
But anyway, all right. Well, yeah. So Void Arc is that's a thing. Let's move on a little bit here to Thornton.
Wait, we didn't even talk about the sexy lady in the red outfit.
Oh yeah, that booty.
Oh yeah. My favorite NPC. Yes,
now,
she is my favorite.
Here's the one part that upsets me though. She's clearly the bad guy, which means she's gonna end up dying.
Yeah, well,
we know she has an alternate agenda. We don't really know she's a bad guy.
No, she's definitely the
maybe
bad
you
guy.
turn her. Maybe you make her a good guy.
She's definitely going to end up being the host for whatever is in that coffin at the end that Diabolos takes into the void.
Her and then
we're not gonna, Nika. I'm sorry.
No, that's not going to happen. It's not. No, we're going to kill her.
I know.
We're going to kill her.
We all want that booty, but ain't nobody gonna get it.
Boobs McGee is going to die in a hail of bullets and
no, come on,
swords and
come on now.
You're gonna invite a machinist to your Void Arc raid, really?
You don't have that much control over who goes and who doesn't. So yeah.
You always kick them though.
Anyway, so Boobs McGee, that she'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch her transform into some kind of monstrosity.
Bam!
But yeah, I'd hit it.
I'm pretty
9
sure
out of
we'd
10.
all hit it.
Yeah.
Sounds like even Nika would hit it.
Yeah. So let's talk about Thoradin EX, which is probably the most challenging content that was offered forth in the patch. Nika, I understand that you and your raid static have challenged.
We've had a couple hours of practice.
All right.
We had two different days, I think.
What's your verdict on Thoradin EX?
I like it. It's very formulaic, like most other things, but they were correct. It's not the DPS check that makes it hard. It's actually learning what to do. And I mean, there's a little bit of randomized to it. Like there are dive bomb type of things, and you have to figure out where to stand. And the mechanics are not too hard to understand. It's kind of like it's one of those things where you kind of need to see it to understand what the hell you're doing. We managed to get it to the point where it actually like phase changes and the music changes and like the big move goes off or the arena changes.
Yeah.
That's about as far as we got. So I mean, it's pretty cool in relation to like the original Thoradin fight where you'd get him down to like 5% and then you'd fight all the knights of the round. Whereas this one, the knights will actually come out a couple at a time, and they each have their own mechanics.
They're spaced a little bit more evenly.
Yeah, and I feel like it's fun. Like the mechanics are fun. I didn't feel like I wanted to bash my face in after wiping every time like I did with Alex Savage 3. So we only had, I think we had Tuesday and Wednesday to practice, just like an hour and a half each night. That was it. So it was really fun, and I think that the mechanics are the good level of difficulty. So bravo, Square Enix.
And they said that if they were making mechanics that didn't just require a DPS check, does that check out? Do you think that scans?
Yes, it definitely stands because there's a lot you just have to know. Oh well, if this person's charging from here, you need to stand there, and there's all these different kind of things. And I don't know, I enjoy it. I'm having fun with it, and I'm not feeling like I need to shoot myself like with other.
Well, you mentioned that it's got a little bit of like a random element to it. Like I liked dive bombs in turn 5. Or
it's like there's 5. The 3 knights will charge, and you have to stand in a certain spot in order to avoid it. And then there's like the 2 tank ones will come out, and like sometimes they'll have short oath and some will have shield oath, and they'll switch, and you have to like pay attention to which one has it. So there's a little bit more attention you have to have. But
well, I like that as opposed to something like
so
Ravana, where it's just once you know the dance for Ravana, you can pretty much just do it blindfolded.
Yeah, it's a lot less formulaic.
Oh, that's cool.
But there is a formula to it because the same knights will come out in the same order and that kind of stuff. But there's also that element of like if you're not paying attention, it will kill you.
Oh, if the knights came out in a random order, how cool would that be?
That would be awesome.
Yes. Well, that kind of would be cool. I mean, a little bit of RNG, and that's where they could have put a little bit of RNG in.
It would have made the most sense. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll save it for Thoradin Ultima.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well that's good news. Skuro said that there were people who had beaten it 2 hours outside of the patch. That's not surprising.
Of course there were.
Yeah, of course there were.
I don't know if it was 2 hours. I know it was day 1, but I feel like that's really
yeah, but that's really not that surprising. Man. So yeah, I'm really not.
Were you able to actually go Paladin, Nika?
Yes, actually, Paladin has use in this fight. Yes, it does.
Nerf Paladin.
It's because it's not a DPS check. It's more of a survival thing in a lot of areas. So
Nerf
definitely Paladin has a role here.
So let's talk about the 2 new dungeons we got. We got Saint Cocaine's Arboretum and Pharaoh Sirius Hard Mode. So yeah, let's talk about Saint Mocaine's Arboretum. And if you're wondering what Mocaine is what happens when you chop up your mushrooms really, really fine and mix it in with your cocaine. You get Mocaine. And you have a whole lot of fun.
Isn't it Mocian?
No, it's Mocaine.
No, like the name of the dungeon.
Mocaine. No.
Shut up, Nika.
It's Mocaine. Anyway, so St. Mocaine's Arboretum. It's
had fun. I went in with you in Juxta.
Yes, definitely. I like the design. The visual design is way cooler than Pharaoh Sirius Hard Mode. I liked it overall. I thought it was a really good addition.
Remind me, what were the 3 bosses now? Because I don't remember them really sticking out a whole lot. I remember that the last one was like.
I just did it. Let me think. The first one's
plant thing. It reminded me.
The first one's a Malboro that like spins around and gives breath on everything.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
That one was.
The second one's a big wasp.
Oh yeah.
That tethers to other wasps.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember the giant wasp. I remember the tethering.
Yeah, like tethers to other wasps, and you have to kill them.
Oh yeah. Overall, wasn't very difficult at all.
I've done Pharaoh Sirius way more just because.
You know what, Juxta? You mentioned kind of seeing or hearing a little bit of a FF9 vibe in one of the chords of the Void Arc music. I saw a lot of FF9 in Mocaine's Arboretum in the design, specifically the Petrified Forest, especially that last boss in regards to the giant like flowery thing that you fight, leaving it, especially with the way that its like legs were like just giant like sticks.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was also another big FF9 influence that I'll touch on later when we get to the main storyline.
I'm hearing a lot of people already saying like Pharaoh Sirius is the new Neverreap and Mocaine's is the new Fractal.
Is the new Fractal,
Well,
yeah.
Really? It looks way
one
better
is
and you
be,
get it way less often.
Yeah, one is going
to... I got Mocaine's today on my roulette. I don't know. I haven't felt that way yet.
I feel like Pharaoh Sirius is could be the next Brayflox because it's so short and quick. Like I felt like we were flying through it.
I didn't feel like that at all.
No, I didn't either.
Really?
I didn't get that either. Yeah. And then okay, so also we got Pharaoh Sirius Hard Mode. Basically, the big redesign that this dungeon got was you start at the top. That's it. That's
and
it.
You go down.
That's really.
But it is a lighthouse. How much can you change a lighthouse?
Thank you, Nika.
I don't know. You could have made the trip down way quicker. Like jump down. You
could get to the basement quicker.
Yeah, get to the basement quicker and make the basement bigger.
There is
Maybe
a basement, by the
little
way.
Bit.
There is a basement. You go down like to the tunnels underneath it because the kobolds have basically taken it over, and that's why you start at the top. You get dropped off by an airship because they're trying to blow that shit up.
Yeah. So anyway,
they could have redesigned it so it looked different.
They definitely could have.
Maybe they could have changed the hue, made it a different color.
Yeah, they could have done that.
Well, I mean, you think about what they did with like Wanderer's Palace when that went hard mode or somewhere like that. They did change things about it.
These guys were really, really, really ripping on me when I'm like, guys, what do you expect? Go look at all the hard modes. All the hard modes.
Look at the hard modes, you moron.
Would you shut? Juxta mute time. I'm gonna use my mute time. All right. And all of the hard modes, they take pieces, like giant set pieces from all of the originals. You go through the same area, and then they add on a little bit. The first area in Brayflox, the first place, in fact, one of the things Juxta's like, you fight the bosses in the same place. First boss in Brayflox is the first place that you fight in the original Brayflox as well. So they reuse them constantly.
Yeah. Well, they did put in the Gra.
Yeah, and yes, and you're right. They could have probably added more to it, but again, I don't know what the fuck you were expecting because it's like that for all the hard modes.
Yeah, like with
hard mode, you fucking moron.
With Wanderer's
Palace. One of them compared to how many other ones?
Well, I don't know. I feel like they were showing off more like that, more of like the effort to clean up Pharaoh Sirius than what the kobolds had been able to impact, what they had been able to change in their time in there. And I think it would have been more valuable, and we probably would have been more entertained by it if they had focused a little bit more on what the kobolds had changed and less on.
Well, there's already only 2 new dungeons. Do you really have to have one of them be just a carbon copy of how it used to be?
But how long have the kobolds actually even been in there? Because if you think about it, after you killed the Siren in the original Pharaohs, the entire team of people is actually rebuilding the lighthouse.
No, not just that, but
Nero fixing it.
Nero brings up a good point. Even if they didn't change a whole lot, the whole bomb thing played no relevance except for the final boss.
And I'm also going to echo Ascalia's good point that we only got 2 new fucking dungeons. Really, you had to drop the amount of time and effort you put into art assets for your second dungeon? Because that's cool.
Because Verminion.
Why not use the basement more? That should have been like the primary focal point.
Well, not even just that. I think if you would have made a bigger mechanic, like a big overall dungeon mechanic out of the idea that the bombs are in here and they're blowing shit up, that could have been really interesting.
If the parts of it are like collapsing on your way down, at least that'd have been cool.
This is the first one on its face that the first time through I was like, that just felt lazy.
I couldn't tell if it was like if there was a difference between the hard mode and the normal mode. In any of the other hard modes, you can tell like right at a glance that you're doing the hard mode or you're doing the old one.
Yeah.
That's my big thing.
So
you start at the top and there's boxes. The one you start in the sewer.
And that's the thing. How long have the kobolds been there? If they haven't been there that long, it wouldn't have changed much. Okay, well, Limps has been there the whole other time then. They should have changed more. They could have cleaned up all the corrupted ether or something.
Well, they did for some of it because it's no longer like falling from the ceiling as you're running around anymore. Like
I think the primary focus of our criticism here is not that. Yeah, it's just
Jesus, did you even try?
Okay, fine. That basically kind of sums it up perfectly.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All
right, so we got a caller on the line who wants to talk about their impressions.
Malkyria, welcome to Limit Break Radio.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you for having me.
See how much Callow just like perked up at your voice. He's like, ooh.
She's been on the show before.
Yeah.
I have.
She kind of sounds a little like Kooky.
Do I?
That's a compliment.
That's a compliment. And that's a compliment.
Yeah, absolutely.
But a little bit, yeah.
Anyway, so what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the items that we actually got from this patch because holy shit, am I the only one who is getting who's having trouble deciding on their glamours? Because holy shit, the stuff that we got here is right up my alley, and it's just okay. What do I get?
The overall visual design of some of the gear that that like doesn't come out of like Void Ark and like some of the dungeon gear.
For once, you're actually complimenting me on what I'm wearing, which is a dungeon gear piece, the body piece. That
we had gotten in that one run together. And I mean, there's a lot of good looking stuff that I think not just. I mean, it doesn't necessarily like look good on its own, but it glamours really well with what we already have and just opens up the possibilities. So yeah.
Yep. In fact, the new crafted gear I think is taken right out of the Sky Pirates. Like the shit for Monk and for Ninja is the stuff that the one pirate chicks like minions or whatever are wearing. It looks really cool. It has like goggles with like a face mask over it. It's really awesome.
Right. And we were critical of the gear because the pictures that they gave us were of like the Void Ark stuff, which is meh.
I mean,
but it's everything else that looks cool.
It is cool because when I tried on the Void Ark or Ninja like body, like it looked cool. I think our criticism was that it all just looked the same.
Yeah. I think that still is true of the Void Ark stuff, because that's just really heavily relying on the theme. But I think the other stuff that we got, the new dungeon stuff, as well as
the crafted gear, all looks really cool. In fact, have you looked up the tank crafted gear yet?
No, I haven't.
It looks pretty cool.
It looks amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You probably won't use the helm, but when is that anything new?
I mean, why would Nero even change his helmet at this point?
You're talking about my head. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry.
Also, if you guys aren't doing sending your retainers out on ventures, you should be, because that dye that you can now sell in the auction house is going for like
crazy.
Oh my god!
I got okay. So I had my retainer come back to me with 2 pots of the general purpose soup black dye.
Yep.
That shit went for like $500,000. And I'm sitting here like,
holy crap!
Wait, what server are you on?
I'm on Sargatanis.
Oh no!
I got gold and red, and they both sold for like 30 to 40, but oh my god.
No. The general purpose stuff.
RP server? That shit is so expensive.
Nobody cares about Balmades.
Piss off.
Nobody cares.
It is like $400K for white or black.
I'd also like to point out we didn't actually start calling it Ball-Aids until Escalia transferred over there. So Balmung, you might want to get your Escalia checked.
Yeah, and call your
exes.
Yeah, call your exes. You got to have that awkward conversation with them.
I am legitimately happy with my retainers right now because they keep giving me stuff like general purpose black or red dye.
Chubs.
I keep getting Woot stuff, and I'm sitting here like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this?
Where was this last expansion?
Yeah.
No, yeah, and it's like, okay, so they used to give me back fish or furnishing, and it's not even good furnishing, but now they're bringing me back the general purpose stuff, the Woot stuff. One of them came back with the Mithrite. What was it? It was like the Mithrite earring of gathering. I'm sitting here like, you're giving me money. You're practically like
doing what you're supposed to do.
Legit. And it's like I had to hire a new retainer for that stuff, and I'm sitting here like, oh my god, I'm extremely happy with my retainers, and it's like, but at the same time, I'm kind of a little pissed off at the market because the stuff used to fluctuate. But now it's going from I had one thing selling from like 100K, and I checked back not too long ago, and it was down to not even 15K, and it was just
unfortunately that happens with the patch just coming out and a lot of people flooding back. That's not surprising at all.
Yeah.
Our benefactor usually keeps us up to date on like all kinds of her woes when she's selling stuff, but that will eventually start to even out. In fact, another item like Arcana something or other that's used for all the new crafted gear, the Sky Pirate stuff, that used to go for like 5K a piece, and now they've been gouged up to like 80K each because everyone wants that gear. But if you give it a couple more days, a week or so, then it'll probably start to even back out again.
Yeah.
Like I used to not even like really look at the stuff that would come out in a patch, like the new items or anything like that. I used to not even look at them, but someone in my free company linked to me the crafted gear, and I'm sitting here like,
looks
that's
really nice.
I never usually get that intense amount of gear loss, but that was just like, that's black and purple, and that's just my right shade of purple because like it has to be the right purple. Like, it can't be like that hot shit pink purple. No, that is not purple. That is fucking pink. You can't convince me that is magenta. Okay.
Can we get you on the phone with Square Enix to relay that exact sentiment to them?
Yeah.
I just want to hear their reaction to that.
Square Enix. Like, I see this shit in every fucking game I play. They're all like, oh yeah, we have this purple option. No, that is fucking pink. That is magenta. That is not fucking purple.
It's not, it's not that deep dark purple.
Yeah, and it's like, that. And it's like, come on, guys. You can't give me something like this and tell me that it's purple.
The dark colors are definitely a big added bonus. When they added the pastel colors, I'm like, all right, they're cool, but really, they
don't go with anything. Those? They don't. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, and I've even tried putting them on like metallic things to see if maybe like a shiny effect. No, it's all like, it doesn't go with anything at all.
Yep. But no, the new dark colors look really, really awesome.
So anyway, thank you for your call. Is there do you have shout outs you want to give?
I'd like to give a shout out to my free company, the Soul Exodus, and I love you guys. I am extremely happy that we are almost to our 100 members, and I hope I hope that more of us come over.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you for the call. We much appreciate it, fellas.
I love you,
Sargentanus member. So
it's nice having a girl on the show who actually sounds, charming and.
Wait, what are you trying to say?
Not femro-y. Yeah.
Wait, do I sound femro-y in real life? What does that even mean?
Nika, you're just one of the guys at this point. Let's be honest.
Anyway,
that's why everyone says hi, Nika.
Hi.
That's the best reaction ever.
I love when she gets confused like that, and she doesn't know how to take anything. She's not really sure how to respond to it.
Yeah.
Well, that was dumb.
So let's move on from the two new dungeons. Let's talk about the diadem.
Skynamys?
Skynamysia? I think Skynamysia might be the final name for it, because that's what it feels like. Skynamysia.
But then we have to acknowledge that Abyssia was actually a thing.
Well,
I loved Abyssia.
There were some of us here who actually enjoyed Abyssia.
Abyssia did a lot of bad things and a lot of great things to 11 at the same time.
It did a lot of stuff that
it was also like the start of the decline, though.
No. The decline was happening. Yeah, you're right, but the decline was happening. The decline was inevitable, and they did what they could at the time to mend a broken game.
Abyssia, it put the final nails in the coffin, but at the same time, it put it on life support.
Ascalia,
for a bit.
It did,
This is the second time we've had to tell you this is not an FF11 show.
Oh, good
all right?
God.
Let's stay on topic before we have to put you in timeout.
So, Skynemissia, a.k.a. the Diadem, Nika, you and I did an easy run.
No, we did normal.
Oh, that was normal. Oh,
that was a normal mode, yeah.
All right, so Nika and I did a normal. Juxta, what did you do?
I did a normal one as well.
You did a normal one.
Yep.
So, thoughts about the Diadem. Nika, what did you think?
My thoughts are that maybe if you're doing hard mode with a free company, it would be worth it. But I feel like I like the fast pace, but however, the 1 hour, 30-minute time on it felt very long. You literally, the reason we're saying it's Abyssia is because it's the level of the quickness in the pulls and that there's just so much going on. So it's basically like you're killing different ranked mobs, and when you kill certain ranks, there's a chance that the next rank, kind of like hunts or something, might spawn, and you're pulling them like every couple, like a merit party or something from 11, and you're pulling them so fast and so quick that half the time I can't see the AoEs because there's so much shit going on with like a bajillion people.
Yeah.
And it literally is, you're just mindlessly attacking things for an hour and 30 minutes. Like there is no variation, no change up in what it does. Like there's no surprises. It's literally like the same few mobs for an hour and a half. And like, okay, once in a while you get a gold chest and you're like, cool. So like in our normal mode, we ended up getting 3 pieces of 210 gear, none of which I think either of us got.
No.
And otherwise it was just mindless punching for an hour and a half.
Yep. That's your Skynimus for you.
And since we did it with a pug group, everyone rolls on everything. And there was actually like 2 people who had said they would pass the 210 tank piece for the tank. And I was like, well, I rolled since that's my main, but I'm like, okay, maybe me or Nero will get it. And then like everyone else still rolled on it. And I was like, well, okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, there was some, like I decided I wasn't going to roll any 210s that I didn't have at 60, but I'm like the rest, whatever. Well, but I rolled on everything else. I rolled on all the 180 gear and like some of the 150 gear, and I got 4 pieces. So I'm not even sure that like, there's so many people rolling. It's like,
even if you can't use the gear, you can still turn it in for Sky Pirate points. So you might
need 99 Sky Pirate points to get the Pegasus. So everyone's in like materia you can get with those points, and so that's going to be.
Well, hold on. So when you went in for need or greed and a tank piece dropped,
there's no need.
There's no need.
There's no.
It's greed only if you go in with a pug. If you go in with a full preformed party, like with your company, then you can set the loot rules.
Okay, then
I don't know
I feel like I would have to go in that way no matter what, because the idea that a 210 like piece like that could possibly
a 210 piece dropped, and Nero was the only tank in our party, but he lost it to some random person.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that it could possibly be better than
for me. Why are you getting upset for me? Stop it.
Does the entire alliance roll on the same chest?
Just the party.
Just the party.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that there's a mob that spawns and all 3 parties attack it. And the thing is that I think the party that gets claim always gets a treasure chest, but the other 2 parties only get a treasure chest if they do enough damage to it. So you have to have enough contribution to the fight. So there were a couple like rank 5s or rank stars that we didn't even get chests from because we didn't have enough DPS because half our people were dead or something. So that kind of sucked. So we could have had a couple more 210 pieces. It's kind of cool though for like a casual person who like has a chance at higher gear that way, but for it being an hour and a half, it's very mindless and brain numbing. I feel like if you're doing hard mode where there's like harder mobs, more of a chance for gold chests, and doing it with a free company where you can set the loot rules or people are going to pass for you, it would make it worth it. But I feel like doing it without a free company is, even with a free company, it's going to be really mindless and dumb though, and boring. It's just more worth it in terms of gear.
Juxta, how about you? Yeah. Did you have a good experience? Like, how well did your run go?
It went fine. I mean, we got like 3 or 4 gold chests, probably like 3 or 4 210 things dropped. I didn't get any of it, but I got a bunch of 150 and 180 stuff that I turned into for Sky Pirate points, and it's Just like Nika said, it's very mindless. You're basically in the sky doing hunts in terms of how much like contribution you're actually doing, because everything has like 800 billion hit points. And you're just basically the entire like zone just congregates to like one island. And then you fight dinosaurs for an hour and a half.
Yeah, see, what I was hoping this would be different islands would drop different types of gear. So like one island would have accessories and another island would have something else. You have to move around.
We don't know.
Everything dropped from this. There was
random.
Body pieces, there was feet, there was accessories.
No, I know that. But I mean, it looks random at the moment because there's a lot of variables. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's random. Just because we haven't figured it out doesn't necessarily mean that it's random. Wait a minute. Hang on. Now, hang on. Because a lot of people have talked about the loot that you get out of Diadem, and it's just shitting 210 pieces, and that, this takes a huge shot to Alexander Savage, which I agree that it does. But, I think that you guys are, I don't know that you guys are exactly being all fair by just calling it hunts in the sky, because what I saw was actually much closer to what the activities of what players would do in Abyssia or Dynamis when we were participating in it.
It was like a merit party in terms of speed, like how fast things are being pulled.
It felt much more like those older events. Now, I actually think that...
Wait, pause. Are you saying that Dynamis and Abyssia was not mindless?
No, I'm not saying that.
Then I have a fair assessment then, saying it's mindless.
Once.
But you did it. You didn't complain about it then. Why are you complaining about it now?
Because that's what we do.
What? No. You're complaining about it without all of the information. Because first of all, none of us have done hard mode. Second of all, we don't know what's gonna. We don't. Do you know what changes? I don't know what changes. Can you say with certainty what changes? Nope. You can't.
I read a bit.
No, you can't.
He's using his juxtamute.
That's right. You actually can't.
Here's the other thing too. This is Beachy knows. This is one island, and it does make sense that the first island you get put on is going to be the easiest sort of entry, quote unquote mind-numbing one. But he does also have a point. Imagine doing this every day.
I don't think you can talk because you haven't done it.
Well, hold on. I didn't play Metal Gear either, but let me talk about that.
No, this is the thing, is there's actually multiple islands in the zone, but everyone only goes to one.
But also
they fly just to that one.
Okay, but that's what we're doing with it right now because we don't know how the system fully works yet. That's what the community is doing with it right now. They're doing the easiest thing. But the fact I'm just saying is we don't know. We don't know. If it's true that it's strictly RNG, that RNG is the only thing that determines what drops in the gold chest, then you're right. And I would say that the system is way too dependent on RNG if that's the case.
A few other small I don't know flaws, but things that Juxta told me kind of graded against me. The 210 gear is also completely random. Like there's no final.
Yeah.
Well, I figured the 150, the 180, that would be random, right? And how it looks. I figured like the best 210 stuff would still have like a set to it.
No, I like that it's random because that way it doesn't necessarily outclass Savage right away.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the stats. I'm talking about the look of it. Even the 210 gear is random.
It's the entire. It's actually a random glamour.
Yes, that's the other like bad thing about it is it's not just a random piece of gear. It actually has a glamour on it.
Yeah.
So
it's an invisible piece of gear with a glamour.
So you can't glamour that piece unless you take the glamour off, and then you can't get it back.
It's virtually useless.
Yeah, I got a pair of Bard feet. That's the Thavnarian sandals. But, I can only wear them on Bard. But
you can only wear it on Bard, and you can't put that Thav
can't put it on something else.
So it's pointless.
Yeah, if you don't wear those feet, you can't use it to then glamour something else into the Thav feet.
Yeah.
Right.
So the actual gear, instead of having a glamour, and I understand why.
It doesn't have a glamour incentive. Yeah.
Exactly. It's easier to code to just be like, put a random glamour on this piece instead of this piece actually be a random, look.
Yeah.
Right? But there is lots of room for improvement on this event going forward if this is all it ends up turning out to be.
My counterpoint is Abyssia, right from the get-go, had things that were like question marks. Like we had NMs, we had pop items, we had fucking exclamation points going off when I used my shitty ass weapon skill. What the fuck? We had things to research and dive into. Here, all we're doing is maybe finding out drop rates or try to find out a way to get the random stats a little bit higher.
Drop structure.
Yeah, that's all we got right now.
Yeah.
There really is only just farming for loot and some gathering for some
I
rare
don't know,
ingredients,
because
but that's
basically
it.
what we're doing right now, because what you guys have done is you've both just done Dino Island, right?
Yeah.
So you've both
That's
done,
all everyone does.
So you've both done the rock walls in Assault 1.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm getting at, is that maybe we don't have a full picture.
The reason people are going after Dino Island is because killing the dinos makes the big... Is it the Brontosaurus pop? Is that the one that everyone's killing?
The Brontosaurus never popped. Maybe that's the hard mode one.
All right,
No,
but
no,
yeah,
you can get
anyway,
it in normal.
basically
We
everyone's
never had
fighting
that
the
one.
exact same thing, and maybe it's because we know how to get that one. So let's just go and do that one. And maybe going to different islands has different ways to pop stuff.
Yeah, I don't...
What it sounded like is that different islands just have a different dispersion of rank 4s, and basically if you kill rank 4s, there's a slight chance that rank 5s or stars will spawn. And so basically they've decided that Dino Island has the biggest pop rate of rank 4s. And so you can go to other islands, but there's less rank 4s and therefore less rank 5s. So it's really not that there's different things, it's just that there's less things there. So that's why people go to Dino Island.
And the thing that hard mode changes is they give the mobs more HP, but they also like increase the rank of the mobs by 1 tier. So like if you were gonna pop a rank 5 NM, it would always be a star ranked NM
Yeah, it's like
in
one
hard
up.
mode.
Yeah.
Well,
So that way there's more of a chance for the higher drops and stuff.
And again, I'm just gonna say this. I like it because it's completely different. It feels completely different from literally everything else in the game.
Now, see, that's my problem, is that it doesn't feel different at all.
It feels way different from any other activity.
It does, but the thing is, it lasts an hour and a half. Like, I could do that for 30 minutes and be like, okay, that was fun, that was exciting, that was fast. But an hour and a half?
So just do it for half an hour. Like why can't you just pop on out?
And dick your party?
Well, no, you can't. No. People can join in progress for that. That was the whole thing that people loved about this, is you could actually join in progress. There was a lot of people, while we were doing it, people would come in and say, okay, where are you guys? And people would shout where the positions were.
Yeah.
Because they joined mid-progress. You can do that. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like, especially in a normal mode, since I don't have a free company with airships right now, I wouldn't want to leave early because the gold chests are so rare. Like, I didn't want to miss a gold chest because I don't really need that 180 gear. I already have all the law gear and some, Alex normal gear and Alex savage gear. What do I care about 180? I'm only there for the 210. So
Right.
why would I leave?
Right. Yeah. And I mean, like, upping the stakes, I think is also a pretty interesting thing to do as well. Up the stakes, up the reward, and I like that. The event doesn't necessarily structurally change between between doing it in easy or normal mode and doing it in the hard mode.
My biggest thing is that it just feels like Fates.
Because hang on. And also it's actually the first thing that does in any way incentivize free companies to do anything together as
True.
24 players.
You got that in that it's better to go with your free company.
Yes.
It really does too, because then it makes the free companies cooperate, as in, like, I'll give who gets what gear and stuff like that. Whereas when you join, is just like a pug.
And it's an inherent incentive too. It's inherent in the event,
it is.
And I think that's by design, and that's not a bad design. So it did some things right, but it didn't totally deliver on what everyone wanted.
But there's still room for that.
And I think what they did right was more elements of RNG, the chaotic atmosphere, and making it feel inherently different from most other things in the game, maybe outside of hunts. And I think that, what I liked about hunts at the time was that it brought a competitive environment back into it. And what I like about the diadem this time around is that it's bringing a larger group element back in, and a reason, any reason at all, to do anything with the rest of your free company, I think is a welcome addition to this game. And something that you can also do that has a pick up and play style, as the queuing as a duo does, and that'll throw you into essentially an alliance, and having to compete for drops. That I think that's a good trade-off. I think that's a fair trade-off.
And I will say that it's a lot less competitive than I was thinking it would be. And I'm actually pretty glad that even though, there's all three parties were shouting, everyone, let's meet on this aisle, let's kill these things, even though none of the parties queued together. And in that sense, we still had a lot more cooperation. Nobody was really a jackass. Like, I asked like 8 million questions because I wanted to make sure I knew everything about it. And people were so willing to explain, like, this is how it works. This is where the monsters go. We're going to this island. We're going to fight this thing. And you have to really,
it's still
really
week
work
one,
hard
though.
together.
It's still week one.
I know. But you realize you have to actually really, really work it to get that DPS contribution, to get the treasure chests. But the thing is it's not like people were trying to like out. With hunts, for some reason, people outpull each other. Whereas in this one, since there's only, 3 parties, everyone was kind of trying to make sure everyone knew that there was the highest rank up or whatever. So.
And to add on to what Anira was saying, too, one of the things that I'm looking forward to about this, too, and I think Samus actually put out a tweet calling Skynamist, for both hardcore and casual players, is the idea that I can go in and do this, right? And when you do, like, the Ravana Extreme, or if you go into Coil Savage, and you sit there and you're banging your head against the same thing, and you're putting so much focus into trying to do it, and you're so frustrated with it that you can't, for a second, just kind of sit back and take a minute, because you have to be invested in 100%, because one slip-up's going to fuck everybody over. And like you said, this is something that you can sort of invest in a little bit more casually.
Right.
And even though I'm going to be in there for 2 hours, it's not something that I literally have to pour all of my mental concentration into.
That's a really good point. And Nika, that I was also going to bring that up, is that even as a tank, and the only tank in our party, I went and ate food and smoked a bowl all in the time that we were doing. We did the 90 minutes. So while yes, the 90 minutes does feel long, you don't have to be like at attention every single second like you do at a dungeon. Or
say that, but do you realize how many star mobs our party didn't get a chest from because our DPS wasn't high enough? It was quite a few, actually. And so there either someone would be dead, or they'd have to warp back, or like if 1 or 2 people aren't there at that time, we're not getting credit on that mob.
Well,
and that happened.
You need to get your chests per hour up in Nero, or else Nika's gonna kick you.
Oh my god!
I mean,
what do you expect when you're queuing with randos? If you're gonna be upset, be upset at your fucking free company when you do it with them. Don't be mad at the randos.
Well, I wasn't mad, but I'm saying that there's if everyone's on full focus, then for a star mob especially, the star ones, you should be there because that's the highest rank to get the.
Yeah, but at the same time, if someone just went and pulled a bunch of fucking mobs, and as the tank, I don't want to sit there and keep banging my head against the star mob when I'm also like if I have mobs that are targeting me or that are rampaging the rest of the party, you know what I mean? Like as a tank, I've actually got to pick up some of those ads, and I can't be focused on that one mob the whole time. So like that's part of the challenge of being in there as a tank, that you've actually got to pay attention to what's being pulled, and you can't always just focus on the star mob. So that.
Well, yeah, I just wish that there was
go in as a tank next time.
Sure. I just wish there was more reason to like make us go to other places or move around. Like, oh, we've depleted everything on this island. We need to move to another island for 20 minutes before we can come back to this one.
I totally agree with that. I agree with that.
And again, also going forward, this is a type of system that they can make lots of changes and additions to going forward, based on our feedback. So hopefully that is something that they'll take into consideration if it's not already there.
Yeah, if it's not already there, I want some depth to it. Like a unique spawn condition, sort of like the S rank hunt mobs, stuff like that. I think that would be
rather than just RNG chance of spawning.
Yeah, and give us a reason to do those too. And a lot of people have made a lot of statements about the I-210 gear that comes out of it, and how much I-210 comes out of it, and how easy the I-210 is.
I was gonna say that's something else I wanted to ask, especially you and Nick, about, since you guys have done more of the endgame rating than the rest of us.
Right.
All these people shouting, "Oh, it shits on the Savage Raiders." What are your thoughts?
No, that's legit.
Even the fact that it's random stats.
I think for it to shit on the Savage players is only if you're in a free company group doing it. I could see like the normal mode. Like literally, we were in there for an hour and a half. We got 3 210 pieces, and we didn't get any of them.
Were they any good 210 pieces?
Yeah,
I didn't actually look.
The stats haven't been complete trash.
I was going to say, the last time that I ever did anything with random stats was back in 11 when they brought out those weapons that you would trade to the fairies. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
And I remember doing that for like 3-4 hours, and I got something that was almost as good as what I was using. So I'm like, fuck it. I guess I'll take.
I think it's legit. I think it does shit over the Alex Savage players. But I also think if you're gonna add an upgrade piece every week to fucking Void Arc, you're already shitting over them already, and that this doesn't
Maybe
shit
just-
on them even more.
Maybe just like pile on more shit so we can have like a shit Sunday made of shit.
No, it's like a light dusting of shit is
light
what it is.
dusting of
Yes,
shit?
that's what it is.
Well,
Fairy shit, if you will.
A light covering of shit. Yeah.
Well, Sky and Amos is definitely invoking a lot of conversation from everyone, and we have quite a few callers who want to talk about it.
Alrighty.
The first of which we have Travoni of Belmont.
Travoni, thanks for calling Limit Break Radio.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are
Hey,
you?
I heard you guys got a case of the Ascalias. How's that working out for you?
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Yeah, it does.
Thanks.
Is a light dusting of shit?
I wouldn't call it light.
Oh, I bet that feels good. Anyway, so what do you want to talk about, Travoni?
So, the whole thing with Skynimus, in my opinion, it's shifted the entire end game. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the possibility of the 210 gear that you can get from there.
It's pretty good.
Even in normal mode, like, it is easily considered best in slot no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, me and...
Because it's got the 2 bonus stats on it, like that really helps too.
Wait, but what do you mean by bonus stats?
You know how like you only have like four stats in your it'll have a lot of those.
Sometimes it has
6.
more than that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy
typically,
shit. Fuck Savage.
Yeah, typically whenever you get like your in-game raid gear, like you have your main stat, your vitality, and then 2 of your bonus stats, whether it be accuracy, determination, or crit rate and skill speed. This 210 gear has a possibility of giving you not only the 2 main stats, but all 4 of your secondary stats at extremely high numbers.
Fuck yeah. Do me some Skynimus.
It definitely,
and a bunch of people that I used to do a lot of in-game raiding with, we literally sat down and we looked at everything. We were like, what's the fucking point of doing Savage anymore?
And
bragging rights?
No. That's legit. I think that's legit because I said there's no point to Savage. But here's the thing. I wanna like roll that back just a little bit. Okay. So like first of all, I like the diadem because it actually gives us more to do on the fucking stream. That's the big thing is that it gives like I feel
it's all
like
about us. Idle
no.
Diadem.
Well, yeah, that's true. But no, I mean, the pick up and play style, you can just kind of join with a few people.
Yep.
Secondly, it's something to do for like 90 minutes, and you're doing it for 90 minutes, and again, you don't have to be super plugged in to do it. And I think it's something that we all could do together very easily on an extra day. And everything else, all the other content in this game is like structured for like 30 minutes if you're running it well. And so to have something that's a little bit longer, yeah, it's a little grindier. But if you're done, then just fuck off.
The fact that it's not so intensive, though, it's okay for it to be longer because you're not getting exhausted doing it.
Right. But here's the thing. Here's why it doesn't permanently shit on the Alex Savage players, okay? Because at the point where this patch progresses, or at where we get to 3.2, and at the point where we get the next round of eye level gear, right, is we'll have what we were talking about. We'll have a lot of choices kind of in the middle, and some of those choices, some of those I-210 gear is going to be better for a couple more levels because it has the four slots on there. It's going to be better for more levels in the long run. So I think this will, in the long run, have more of an effect of having gear variations between players, and customization was a big thing that we've been asking for.
First step towards horizontal gear progression.
Yes,
maybe diagonal right now.
Exactly, a little bit. Yeah. You've got the chance to make it a little bit better. It may not be, but it very well may be. And yeah, so
you know what? That's true.
And also, let's not forget that at the point where the next eye level bump does happen, you're going to have for Savage clear to be able to go to A5 Savage.
That's true.
And so all of these people who have been punking out on learning Savage mode are suddenly going to be motivated if they're motivated by gear, and if Square Enix can motivate us properly this next go around with Savage, that more people will be into the second turn of Alex Savage than we're into the first turn. I think that's the light at the end of the tunnel for me. For me, that's why I think the diadem is a good thing, and it actually fills a lot of the gaps that we've been asking for. Not in all the ways that we wanted, and maybe not with all of the depth that we wanted, but it did fulfill a lot of the things that we asked for.
You know, it's interesting the way that Final Fantasy XIV has been planned out and the way that it's been structured, now that we are getting something that provides an alternative, people have been set in a way where it's like, oh, now this comes out, it shits on this person, or, oh, you know, we can't do this, why do this, what's the point? In FF11, the way that it was structured, when something new came out, cool, new choices. Yeah. It wasn't like, these people against these people. You know what I mean? So that's a really interesting thing there. Did you have something else?
Which is, it's completely true. I mean, in the state of the game right now, the only point of doing Savage is if you're looking into getting into the second tier of Savage, or if you just like the challenge at this point.
There you go.
As far as weapons go, sure, Thornton Extreme drops I-205, I think, but with Relic literally right around the corner, there's not really a whole lot of drive to doing Thornton for weapons unless you just want
you want the
glamour.
Weapon. Yeah. And the other thing is, too, is that, there's going to be people who poop sock Diadem and who get the most out of it that they can within this patch. There are people who are going to do it maybe once a week, maybe twice a week when they're bored as something to switch it up in between their dungeon grind. And then there's going to be people who barely touch it, who are much more into the structured, hardcore endgame raids like Savage, that will be able to quickly outclass everything that's in 3.1 and in the Diadem within the next patch. And so I think with those three factors that it fills a lot of the gear holes that we've been asking for. And that's really cool.
Point, it feels like choice again.
It does.
You have different ways to play the game.
And let's not forget in 3.2, we're going to get that big materia adjustment. And I do think that this is just a way to further be able to have a different set between players.
When that comes, there will be a mixture of Diadem and materia stuff.
Absolutely.
You're going to be able to do a lot with it.
Absolutely. And because those variables exist in there, no two players are going to be exactly the same. I mean, that's been another big complaint, is that everything's been so fucking cookie cutter. And that's a lot of that has to do with the stats between gear being exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, you're almost looking at them trying to make an abolishment of the term best in slot.
Actually, yes. I think that's a great point. It totally shits all over the idea of a best in slot chart that is static and unchanging.
Which I love. I love getting away from it.
FFXIV in the chat had a good point that that a lot of people have been complaining that they can't beat Savage 3 because it's hard, it's a DPS check, whatever.
Yeah.
And so this is basically the answer to that. They're giving us Thornton with the 205 weapons, and then they're giving us Diadem, which you probably aren't going to go in one day and get full 210 set, but you can slowly build on it, and that will slowly help you beat Alex Savage.
It's another thing to do, and it's actually a thing to do, unlike fucking Lords of Verminion, man.
It all comes back to Lords of Verminion.
Yeah, right.
So as far as Lords of Verminion goes, I still haven't even touched it. I refuse.
Yeah. Well, you're not the only one. Anyway, thanks for the call. We really appreciate it. And I think that was his first time call. It was first time caller. So
good call. This was my call cherry being popped.
All right. Well, thanks for calling into Limit Break Radio. Got some shout outs?
I just want to give a shout out to my free company Seed and everyone in Kupo.
All right. Well, there you go. Shout out to everyone in Seed and everyone in Kupo. So,
are you part of that FC Seed? I feel like that'd be right up your alley. As much as you
I'm not part of Seed.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Anyway, thanks for the call. We really appreciate it. And if you'd like to call up with your thoughts about Diadem or the gear, the gear spread, give us a call at 810-515-8715 or send a message to the Skype account Limit Break Radio. But for now, let's take another call.
Take a call that's calling in on the phone.
Okay, let's take another
1 3.
Oh no, let's not.
Oh.
Well, fail bot.
I think I know who it is. I think I know who it is.
Well,
no.
I think they Juxta, I'm going to hold you responsible for that one. You failure.
It's Persona 413. Come on, they just told us.
Failure. Nice job.
Oh wait, okay. Let's try again. I think we got it this time.
All right. Do we have the caller on the line?
Yeah, there's a caller on this line, guys. Yeah.
Hey,
what? Hung up on me last time.
Oh,
sorry.
I don't think we hung up on you. I think it definitely went to voicemail. We definitely had voicemail there. So.
Well, I heard people talking. They were yelling. I heard them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if they were yelling, it couldn't have been us.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
no way.
We're very nice.
It's definitely not us. Anyway, caller, who are you and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Anchorage, Alaska.
Anchorage, Alaska.
Alaska. Wow.
Okay.
Check that one off the map.
My name's Herman.
Vernon?
Herman.
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 Yeah.
Herman. Okay, well.
Damn, you're cute.
Herman, what do you want to talk about?
Why'd you use your sexy voice?
I have a sneaking suspicion that this is not Herman.
I don't know.
I wanted to know if do you guys even Vermilion, bro?
I was gonna say this sounds like Albert.
It sounds
like Albert.
Yeah, it does. It sounds suspiciously like Albert, who we all know is a well-known alias of Joe Never Fails.
Whoa, yeah,
Joe, welcome to Limit Break Radio for the second week in a row. Thanks for calling up.
Joe, why do you think we wouldn't take your call if you just said it was you?
I know, right?
Damn it!
I knew it was because the someone hashtagged in the chat Joe Never Calls.
That was right after hashtag Joe Mentum.
So Joe, what do you want to talk about today, man?
Did you guys talk about Vermilion at all? I just tuned in like 30 minutes ago.
We basically shit all over it.
We pooed on it.
Did.
Good. We don't have to get to that.
Oh, okay. I'm like, did you actually call in to like legitimately talk about Lords of Vermilion?
It's the PvP update, man.
It's not a PvP update. I actually wanted to continue if you guys were down with the state of what the hell came out in this fucking patch and where this game is going.
To send your message, press 1 at any time.
Whoa! What is this?
Press 2.
I'm confused.
To re-record.
Where'd he go?
I don't know.
I think we may have lost the call.
Weird. It is like a voicemail, but he was talking.
That's so weird.
I guess they don't have very good reception in Alaska this time.
I know, right?
Do you guys not hear me?
No, that's so weird. He's there. He's there. Did you not hang up the other call, Juxta?
No, it's hung up. I promise.
That's so weird.
More options.
It's still. What is going on? What is going on? Way to break it. Holy shit.
Are you there, Joe?
Press 1 at any time.
It's just
I told you.
I swear, Juxta did not screw this up. This is something that is legitimately wrong.
Joe, did you accidentally throw the other call into into
No, I promise.
Sorry, please try again.
No.
Sorry, please try again.
Sorry, please try again. Wow.
I think Joe's just getting really elaborate about trolling us now.
That's a pretty good troll.
He put some effort into that one.
All right, we're gonna give it one more fade up.
One more try. Okay.
Yeah, Joe,
He's
are you
coming
there?
back in.
Are you there, Joe?
Guys, I'm here.
Okay. All right. That was super weird. Yeah, the voice is gone. Magic voice is
hashtag Joe Never Skypes.
That's so.
I hear you and a voicemail at the same time.
Yeah, it was like a voice mailbox. I don't know if you heard that, but that was super weird. Anyway, all right. So let's talk about the state of what exactly the hell came out in 3.1, the direction where everything is going. Joe, what are your thoughts? I think I kind of summed up my feeling on it.
I'm right there with you, Nero.
I wanted to basically keep spitballing off of that because it was kind of it was legitimately what we talked about last week without knowing what it was going to be like. And now we've got a week's worth of the reality of what 3.1 was. And like, you hit it right on the head last week with what are we getting? And Nika, we talked about it. You talked about it too. What are we getting? How much did we get compared to what we could have expected in previous patches, and less of a wait time, and like how is this content different, and what should we be looking forward to moving forward from here? And like for me, like playing this patch outside of clearing Thornton, outside of like just wanting to fucking explode my PS4 with Lords of Vermilion and why the hell it's in this fucking video game at all.
Yeah, I think we're right there with you.
Honestly, like what did we get? Like, what did we get? We got the 24-man raid, which gives us not completely irrelevant gear now with Diadem. Completely irrelevant. You know what I mean?
It's glamour, Joe, and that's the real end game.
Yeah, well, I think the fact that there is no glamour motivation in Diadem is actually a pretty big is a pretty big indication, because like with there literally being no glamour incentive out of there, you're just going for gear with stats.
I like the ninja gear.
No, out of the Diadem, it's all randomized
right.
stuff.
Yeah, no, it's very it's going to be very, very rare that you actually find something glamour-wise that you want to wear.
Well, but you can't even like take the glamour,
because the glamour has to line up with good stats as well.
Good job. So you're literally only selecting gear based on the stats out of the Diadem, which I think it sets a clear motivation between the two sets of content, and I actually do think that the Diadem fills this kind of like this wedge that we've had, this dip in the middle that we've had,
a lateral progression.
Well, yes, along with some of the gear progression, problems that we've outlined in earlier shows, and I think so. They properly motivated the event. They made it kind of casual friendly, or something that you can do either in a large spurt or large chunk or short spurts, and something that you can do inside of your free company if you want the most reward out of it, or something that you can do casually if you want to compete with other people. I think that's it's a really kind of variable system, and I like that. I definitely like what they've done with the diadem, and it shows an interesting direction. Now, what do you think, Joe? Do you think that's a positive trend, or are you concerned by what the diadem has brought to FF14?
I'm happy. I'm 100% happy with this being in the game. I think it's going to be like the main focal point of like, oh, when am I going to go in and get a diadem group? Am I going to go in with friends? Am I going to go in with this? Like, yo, I met this guy playing diadem. Like, I think it's going to be an awesome social aspect. It's awesome because of the progression. It's perfect for what the game is right now, for what it has been beforehand, which was the only way to get gear that way was raid progression, having a static, which killed a lot of people playing the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's awesome for what it is. But having said that, and I'm not mad at anybody talking shit saying, oh, man, I worked so fucking hard for my 210 gear. Now these fucking casuals got 210 gear. You're not raiding. Like, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
The raiders that want to learn it and raid it are going to go raid it. The people that are going to get it just for the gear and do their dungeons OP as fuck, like, that's fine.
If you wanted your Alex Savage gear, you would have fucking gotten it by now.
Exactly.
Bitch.
They would have gotten good by now. That's
yeah.
Yeah, Nika.
It's not that easy. That's why this is here. I mean, that's honestly why they gave it.
I also agree with that.
And the people who are complaining are now a hypocrite, because the people who are saying AS3 is hard, I need help with this, are also the people saying, well, now everyone can have it.
Here's your fucking help, man. Like, have some better gear.
But the thing that gets me, having said all of that, is legit, when you really want to look at it, we've got 2 new dungeons, 1 new 24-man dungeon, a large amount of time and effort and hours placed into Vermilion, and 1 new playable area were the things that were added as content to this game.
Absolutely.
In 3.5 months or 3 months or whatever it was. And now that's what I'm looking at as a player and a payer of this game. That is a troubling trend downward.
You know what? As simple as what the diadem seems right now, and as complex as what Lords of Verminion is, from what number 6 and the girl was telling us, they oh man, yeah, you're right. That's kind of a little backwards, isn't it?
It is.
That's what I'm worried about. It's the same thing that we actually alluded to. We talked about last time when it was like, we don't really know what's going on. We don't know what's going to be. We don't know how it's going to be. But now we know. Oh, and Thornton, my bad. Thornton, that took some money as well.
Yeah.
But that's what we got. That's what we spent an extra 2 months on.
Yeah.
To wait for. No PvP. You know what I mean? No, whatever.
Well, here's the other thing, though.
That way right now,
because
that's what we spent money on, man.
If people aren't happy with Lords of Verminion, right, which we would know. I mean, you saw what Triple Triad did, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Ascali actually had a good joke about it changing the game, just before the new expansion launch. So Triple Triad was great, had a big positive reaction. So they probably looked at that as, well, what can we do better,
right?
Which was obviously Lords of Verminion. So if people don't do it, if it does not explode like Triple Triad did,
right,
they're obviously going to readjust. They're going to take a look at that again.
And it definitely didn't. It didn't take off like Triad.
What about the Chocobo races? Huh?
It's a timing thing too. Triple Triad came at the end of an expansion, not at the beginning of one.
Who's legitimately still racing Chocobos? Anybody?
Well, no, they're not. You're right, Juxta. You're right. Chocobos didn't really do anything, okay?
It's the same, it is the same problem as Chocobo racing.
The reason that Triad took off, though, is because it's easy enough to learn, it's easy enough to play casually, and you can just play from a certain time to a certain time and whatever.
Which is probably what they should have did with Verminion.
There's so much to learn. It's it's just so complicated that I don't want to spend that much time doing something that's supposed to be a fun mini game.
The other thing that's going to hurt Verminion is you actually have to go to the Gold Saucer to do it. You can't just do it out in the street somewhere.
That's true, too.
You can't do it while you're doing anything else either. If you're in a party hunting, the leader of the party has to keep her Verminion.
Right, yeah, and that was something that Triad had going for it too. Yeah, that's
So as much as it sucks right now, looking at the what looks like production cost into Verminion versus what went in to Skynimus, I don't think that that's a trend that we're gonna have to worry about going forward.
Yeah,
because I think that the players are going to be vocal enough about it where Square Enix again maybe think, all right, maybe not make the extra little mini things so complicated. They like quick and easy,
right?
And start putting all of our big devoted time into taking something like Skynimus and building it up more and making it a little bit more in depth,
right? And so I think I'd like to kind of unpack this a little bit more, a little bit down the line. We have a couple of more things to give our reactions to and give our thoughts to, and then we'll kind of put a pin in this and we'll kind of come back to this idea here in a couple of minutes. But Joe, thank you for calling in to Limit Break Radio. We really appreciate it, and unfortunately we've got so much. We've got so much. We've got so much.
Hijack the show again.
We got so much email. We've got a ton. I think we've got a ton of people waiting to call in. So thank you.
Real quick. All I'm saying is, like, when Yoshi P talked about it a while ago, like, he talked about it and joked around about, like, having fucking blitzball in this game. Like, I think as a community we all would have, like, I would have preferred to have fucking blitzball in this game than something like Verminion, man.
100%. 100%. I'm 100% with you, because even like that would have had its own its own nostalgia reason to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. No, I'm with you there. There's no reason to do Verminion, man. None at all. Thanks for calling in, Joe. Of course, you can check him out at twitch.tv/Joe Never Fails, and make sure that you watch his portion of the Aniro roast, because he did an excellent job, man. He killed it. So thanks again for calling in, Joe. I appreciate it.
There's a funny thing about Lords of Verminion is that now that system is in place, now they always have to add stats for every minion they add into the game.
Oh, my God. I didn't think about that.
So before they could just add a minion and have a model for it and just be done with it, but now they have to put even more development time just to put in minions.
Lords of Verminion's a fucking tumor.
I wish I could say that you're wrong.
It's a gigundous tumor on the ass of Eorzea.
It's the number 6 of FF14.
God damn it.
Yeah. So something I want to talk about that's not in the patch. And Juxta, I hate to be the one. I hate to be the one to rub this in.
What?
But no Hildebrand anywhere in 3.1. Not going to be in 3.15.
Oh, well, come on. There's still a little bit of hope for 3.1.
No, there isn't. No, it's going to be. It's the weapons, and it is.
No, okay. No, I did.
Because they added the.
No, shut up. Okay, I did research. I did research, and like every other patch before in 2.0 had Hildebrand. Every big patch. So they're just pushing it back a little bit, okay?
They're pushing it back.
They're pushing it back.
I don't think they are.
Hold on. 3.15.
Wait, but all right, with Hildebrand, even in 2.0, there were little sort of clues and snippets to what story he's going to pick up. Where does he fit into any of what we've seen right now?
Yeah.
I mean, look,
when you crash the Void Arc into the school that he's teaching
we have MSQ.
That's where he's at the school.
We have MSQ. Okay,
we have Void Arc.
We have Alexander. That's 3 separate storylines. Where does he fit in?
Hang on. I know that we had theorized in the past that it was going to be connected to somehow be the students of Valdessia. That's not going to be it.
It's true. We have Cryo.
Yes,
that's all that's left, though.
It's not going to be funny, though. It's not going to be funny. It's sad. It's sad. They
can make it funny.
That's a sad storyline. It's not funny.
What isn't funny about a flood taking out an entire island? Come on.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
Can you see the straws that he's grasping at and how tiny they are?
Yeah. No, you're screwed for this one. I'm going to call it. In my favor, the bet has been declared in my favor. I win that bet. So you get 0 pay for this episode, no bonus for this month.
But 3.1.
Nope. It's not going to happen, buddy.
$60 down the drain.
Yeah,
did you have a drop over there that's just like a toilet flushing?
No, we don't.
Wait, where's that game over drop?
How do we not have that drop?
Where's the game over drop you were playing for the people who lost on our quiz show?
I've got it.
Come on, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Game over.
Just the self-resentment as he has to drop that on himself.
Yeah, the amount of shame in that.
How does that feel, Nero?
Yeah, it feels pretty good, I gotta say.
You got a little bit of a chub going?
You lose.
There you go. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
You got a chub going?
I like this. I like this feeling. This has got to happen a little bit more.
How you feeling, Juxta?
You should feel sad that you didn't lose a Nero because you should want to have more content.
Yeah, thank you, Nika, because we want more content. We want more Hildebrand.
And even though you won and victory is sweet, it's
how much
bittersweet.
Hildebrand has Nero actually done?
He's done all
I've
of
done
it.
all of it.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
How much of it have you cared about?
No, it was all good. It was definitely good.
Okay.
I mean, it was like that.
I have a very important question now.
What?
What do you plan on doing with Juxta's hard-earned money?
Man, I don't know. $60. I could definitely. I could get Fallout 4.
You could get Fallout 4.
I could get Fallout 4.
You could be responsible with it.
Yeah. Well, shut up.
Why don't you save it? Put it in an investment fund.
I could buy drugs.
You already buy drugs. Come on.
Drugs suck.
Not today, my man. We're going top shelf.
I don't know. It's $60. You know, actually, with an extra $60, I do have something that I could
subscribe to 11 and finish the story.
No.
We want to put it to something useful.
Yeah. Why don't I just dig a hole and burn it?
Hey,
Why don't I just set it on fire?
That made you think about it.
Look, at that point, he might as well just give it back to Juxta.
Yeah.
Wait. I like that. Maybe we should go back to 11.
First of all, let's get this straight. I didn't unsubscribe from 11 since the last time I had been on it, which was just before Heaven's Word.
So you're still throwing money at them?
Yeah, so I am putting that money in a hole.
Do they have like
and just
veterans
burning
rewards?
No.
What?
No.
One of our listeners suggested you should buy some Mocaine with it.
Mocaine, that's a good idea. I like that idea. No,
can you afford Mocaine on $60?
This is bullshit.
You'd be stretching it pretty thin, but you'd be able to have one hell of a good time, just one.
I like Carlita's suggestion. Put it towards our Patreon.
Oh, well, that's a sweet suggestion. But as you know, our Patreon support over at patreon.com is monthly, and so if I sign up for, it would either be $1 for 60 days or it'd be $60 one time. Yeah, so
it's 5 years worth of donations you got going on, man. You can get Patreon green room videos.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all right. No, I think that there's that the $60 could be better spent by. I think I'm gonna get my first tattoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
An idea?
Well, I mean, I'm 30. I'm kind of old. It's like late in your life to be getting a tattoo.
You guys heard it. Nero is kind of
Nero?
old.
I can't believe
it's never too late. It's never too late to get a tattoo. My grandma got 2 tattoos.
Oh, okay.
She's a grandma.
Knowing you, I can't believe you don't already have a tattoo.
I don't.
How is that possible?
Nero is a lot more straight edge than he would have you believe.
Well, I just could never really decide on an image that I really wanted to have on my body forever.
Everyone wants tattoos when they're teenagers that actually are so glad they don't get one.
I'm so glad I didn't get any tattoos as a teenager because I was a fucking moron and I would have picked everything dumb to have on my body. So
check out my Goku tattoo. What?
I have a Triforce in my hand.
He'd have the tramp stamp going on or like a butterfly on his ankle.
No, but
or just a potato.
I think I always kind of sort of wanted an 11 related tattoo because of my work with LBR and and FF11 being such a big touchstone.
Just shitting all over 11?
Touchstone in my life. But
so how about an LBR tattoo?
No, I don't. An LBR, what, of our logo?
Yeah,
I designed that in Photoshop. It definitely does not deserve to be on anyone's body. No one should have the branding of Limit Break Radio on their body. I would not ask or conscribe that to anyone.
Can we get our logo as a brand that we can just like burn Ryuichi or Skuro?
That would be funny. That would be funny. No, but I think with us bringing Limit Break Radio back for 14 and FF14 being a big place in my life, I think I'm gonna get the 1.0 tattoo, the legacy tattoo, to celebrate. My I've been playing this game since 1.0.
Somebody in the chat that too.
Yeah. It's a great suggestion. I even have actually one of the temporary tattoos from
I still have that too.
From FanFest left.
Hey, stop! What? I want that tattoo.
Why would you want that tattoo?
Because I want it. It's awesome. I'm going to put it on my back.
Yeah, but why would you? You didn't play 1.0.
I'm a legacy player.
But you didn't play 1.0.
I did play 1.0. I had
played it
Jux
for
the Most Grande.
You played it for 2 days.
I most certainly do. Go ahead and take a look at Juxphilia over there. I have it on my back. I'm a legacy player.
Well, no, I know your character has it, but playing for 2 days
I fought the marmots, but nobody else would at Garland. When Garland invaded.
All right, Juxta, shut up now.
I'm just saying, like, he didn't play 1.0 at all.
Juxta, why would you get a tattoo?
Yeah, you're
because I'm getting 30. I'm in my late age. And,
okay.
Oh God.
No, because
you would look terrible with a tattoo.
I would look
Why can't
glorious.
you both get it?
No.
Shut up, Nika.
No, definitely not. I don't want to have matching tattoos with Juxta. Are you shitting me?
I want this.
No,
they have to get
I've been
matching
talking about
tattoos.
this forever. Like, since when we started streaming.
When? When did you start? Wait.
During streaming.
What the fuck are you talking about? You've never mentioned this to me before, ever.
Why would I talk to you about it?
No, actually, I think there was a show where he had mentioned it.
He did.
That's fucking bullshit.
No, I'm calling on the show.
I call bullshit on this. That's fucking bullshit. You never mentioned it on the show.
No,
you never mentioned it on the show.
I could find the episode.
Oh, well, go ahead and find the fucking episode because you definitely didn't fucking mention it.
I fucking will.
Well, you definitely. I never heard anything about this. This is the first I've ever heard.
I haven't even talked about the stream.
You make jokes about it on the show about having it because I know you played for 2 days and defended against the
Honestly,
army or whatever that stupid bullshit is.
It sounds like a good idea.
I
like that. Yeah.
I'm still not even certain you're being serious right now.
I don't think he is.
How am I not serious?
No.
I've talked about it before.
Wasn't it the show Anira wasn't here for?
Was it? Was it?
It might have been. I don't know.
Was it the show that I wasn't here for? Was it the show that I was in Chicago for?
Yes, it was.
Well, then that doesn't fucking count. How the fuck am I supposed to know?
It does count because the viewers all heard it.
How is that?
Thank you.
Okay, but still, no. Fuck that. You don't deserve it. There's no way.
It doesn't matter if I deserve it or not.
No way.
It looks good on me.
Fuck no.
It looks good on me.
Well, then I'm. You know what? Hey, I got your $60, fucker. I'm gonna go get it before you do. How about that?
No.
And then what are you going to do?
I've been talking about first. You can't get it before me.
I absolutely can.
No.
Absolutely I can.
This is ridiculous.
No, I'm definitely going to go get it now because you owe me the fucking money.
Okay, well, I'll give you the money, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to get it before I give you the money.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you're going to set that up.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Go into a walk-in tattoo parlor?
Sure.
Just like, hey, put this. You're going to scribble it in crayon and
get it online.
Put it on my. Hey, put this on my back.
I'm
not. You know what? Suddenly, I'm not worried about this anymore because it's going to be like just a bunch of black scribbles. It's going to look nothing like my glorious tattoo. You're not. No.
You guys want to go in the back and rub dickheads together for a minute?
You're getting pretty up about this because I'm gonna get it first.
No, you're definitely not.
Yes,
you're definitely not.
Get it if you want.
Okay,
I don't care about that.
Guys,
but I'm
shut
first
up
because I called it.
Shut up.
I had dibs.
Shut up.
Super dibs.
Shut up. We can't come to agreement where you both get it.
No, absolutely.
Only
I don't
one
want
of you is going to get
it. Yes, only one of us can get it.
Them is going to get it.
Okay.
And I'm going to get it first because I know I know more tattoo artists than this lame motherfucker. Watch.
Shut. Go anywhere else. It doesn't matter.
No.
All right. No. First of all, no. All right. You need to figure this out. All right. This isn't going to be, who's going to go and get it first shit, because then you're both still going to show up with it on, and then we constantly have to hear the two of you bitch. So right now, figure out a way. What the fuck you going to do?
Kooky just put up a straw poll to see who gets it.
No, I'm not
definitely not.
I'm not going to leave my tattoo up to the whims of the Twitch chat. No.
The same people that turned me into a fucking potato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
All right, well,
is there
you say it's all about LBR?
There's got to be. What?
Who can raise the most money?
Well, okay, hang on. We just, I mean, this is all in the name of a bet. All right, the bet.
Yep.
We completed that bet. Maybe another bet to see maybe who gets the tattoo first.
Yeah, sure. Okay, no, I like this because this is the one I can actually work towards and help complete and stuff. Because I had no obvious say in the fucking one.
You could have emailed SE and said, "Hey, more Hildebrand."
You think I haven't been like
calling them off?
Sending them Hildebrand pictures with my jizz all over it? You think that wasn't a thing?
Phone ringing off the hook.
Okay. All right. Fine. A bet. All right. How can we
hey. We have a problem with not streaming lately.
Yeah, you're right.
So do it donations while you're streaming.
Oh, I like that. Okay. All right. I like this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it'll be kind of like Ascalia's 24-hour and Kahlo's whatever his fundraiser was for
his
the less successful version of that.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So how about this? Well, we're gonna start 2 camps. All right. We're gonna start Camp Juxta. Hashtag Camp Juxta.
Camp Juxta. All right.
And hashtag Campanero.
Camp Loser.
So anytime that you make a PayPal donation when you're watching Limit Break Radio, okay, you tag it with hashtag Team Juxta or hashtag Team Nero, and it will get added to the total for that team. Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't tag your donation, it just doesn't get totaled to either team.
So are we looking at a deadline or are we looking at an amount?
I think an amount that way.
Yeah, no, you know what? No, hold on, because when Ascalia did his little 24-hour stream, you guys were shitting on because Kylo, he made more than you. Which, first of all, it was for a good cause.
Yeah,
okay.
it was, yeah.
And second of all, he went 24 hours where we went 12. So of course he fucking made more than me.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And actually, he didn't make
that's
that.
what it was,
He didn't make that much more than me. Just so you know.
And just so you know, 150 of that was mine.
Shut the fuck up.
Seriously.
See, this is how fucked you are, Nero.
No, well, now people have to tag their donations.
Yeah,
that's easy. No problem.
So you guys
Why
can
are people
also
in the chat saying Camp Nika? I'm not part of this.
you can also put your money where your mouth is and see if you can raise more than fucking Ascalia.
Okay, all right, I like that. So
no problem.
Let's call it a race to 2,500. The first to get to 2,500. Does that sound fair? Does that sound fair?
That's fine.
Have fun with that.
But hold on now. I have a stipulation.
Okay.
Because you two getting your tattoos, why the fuck do any of us care about that? All right?
Hang on. Well, just hang on. Because, you guys are just sitting here completely.
No, this isn't about us.
No. I think this is a good reason for Juxta and I to stream more. But what about you guys? I mean, listeners already gave you $1,800 to give you a new computer, a stream box, and look what the fuck you're doing.
I was playing Fallout the other day.
I don't think you've gotten your community hours in yet, buddy.
I don't think you have either.
Fine.
I think you've got to step up your streaming too.
All right, I'll stream more.
All right. Okay. And you've been suspiciously quiet for the last 6
Forever.
weeks.
What the hell do I have to prove? I raised my money.
Okay, the point is
whoa, no.
Hang
stop.
on.
You raised that for like a charity and shit.
Sure.
This is raising it for us.
Yeah,
so
you don't get.
if you
got to put in your time.
If you don't have a charity backing you, then I'm afraid
put in your time.
You're gonna
the
be
point
terrible.
I'm trying to make
You're gonna
is
be awful.
The point I'm trying to make.
I was always not the one pulling in the most every month.
Ascalia, shut up. The point is, we're asking these people to donate money so one of you can get a tattoo.
Right.
What do they get out of it? I think the loser should have to do something.
Okay. All right. Ooh. I like this. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Well, Nero.
What?
Shave your beard.
Ooh.
Hashtag Camp Juxta.
Team Juxta's
on the board.
Team Juxta gets on the board already. Wow. All right. Okay. All right. So let's see. All right, I'll do that. If I lose, I will shave my beard.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
You have to keep it shaved for 2 months.
Oh my god.
Putting some teeth on it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You have to stay clean shaven for 2 months.
For 2 months. Okay. All right. Okay.
Show us that.
All right. If you lose, Juxta, you have to shave your head and keep it shaved for 2 months.
No problem.
That wasn't as good. That wasn't as good.
In the ass,
That wasn't as good. Hang on. Wait a minute. Hang on.
Wait.
Let's get these two guys involved.
No.
Yes. Let's get these two involved.
Fuck you.
Hold on.
Yes.
I get Kahlo.
Wait. What?
I get Kahlo.
No.
Why not?
No, I want Kahlo.
Why doesn't anyone want me?
I don't want to be settled with number 6.
Fuck you.
Hey, your value was way higher when you were streaming way more, and you've just totally dropped off the face of the planet.
All right, I don't want him.
You know what?
But you know what? He's streaming about as much as he is. So
they're not gonna let us not get on this. So I will take Juxta. I'm backing the winning horse.
all right, I guess I'm stuck with number 6.
Okay,
Wait,
hold on.
we don't have to do anything bad though.
So wait, no. I have it. So if Team Juxta loses, Kahlo, you need to shave your head. Keep it shaved for 2 months along with Juxta.
Yeah. Look.
I like that. Oh wait, did you hear that hesitation, guys?
Wait,
did you hear that hesitation?
No.
It's over.
Give me a second. Let me respond.
It's over. It's decided. It's decided. You already
I will shave my head. I will shave my head.
You had the chance to shave your beard and keep it shaved with me, and now you got to do the head.
I shave my beard.
I know.
I will shave my head.
You missed the opportunity for a lighter punishment, sir.
I will shave my head, but I think because it's his whole thing, he does the 2 months thing. I'm just gonna shave it. Okay, because you can't really throw the whole beard thing on me because now that you have a Scally, he doesn't have a fucking beard to shave.
Shave his legs.
No, I want him to wax his legs.
No,
waxing. Yes,
video.
Yes, done.
Video.
Done.
Yes. Wait. Stop.
What?
All of this happens on the show. All of this. I shave my beard on the air.
Well,
Kahlo shaves it with cameras, and also the waxing, and also the tattoo. I'm gonna up the stakes. Yes, I am. I'm gonna figure this shit out. I'm gonna up the stakes, and whoever is getting the tattoo, because let's also have it be a punishment too. You have to host while getting the tattoo on the air.
Oh my god!
And there's going to be video evidence of this shit.
Now, hold on.
Now, the only thing is that I'm not 100% about the laws in Michigan, so I'm like 90% about it. I think you can get tattoos in the home, but just in case we can't, we may have to find a workaround for that. But yes, I think getting the tattoo on the air is a big, important part of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to risk getting my legs waxed on his fucking popularity?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good luck, bitch.
Can I do like an arm or something?
Wait, hold on. Do you shave your legs?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
All right.
That's going to have to be the arm, I guess.
Fuck.
You
You either have to stop shaving your legs. What about chest? Can you wax your chest?
No,
do you actually have hair
let's
there?
just do arms.
But no, seriously, no. You have to grow it a leg.
How about the taint? Wax the taint.
Fuck off. I'll grow my leg hair out until this bed is done.
All right, fine.
Fuck y'all.
All right, fine.
Just 'cause I don't like where this is going.
All right.
I've got balls of steel.
Yeah, not anymore after you assholes.
All right. So let me make sure I got this clear.
Okay.
All right. So Team Juxta and Team Aniro are racing to $2,500.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
The winning team gets a tattoo and no punishment.
No punishment.
The losing team, Juxta and I, would have to shave our heads, keep them shaved.
Yes.
Losing team, you guys, shave your beard, keep it shaved for 2 weeks.
Yes.
2 months.
2 months. 2
right,
months.
2 months.
Yes.
Wax Ascalia's legs.
And he has to wax his legs.
On air.
All on air.
All on air.
And the tattoo is being done on air.
And the tattoo is being done on air.
Oh my god.
All
right. Can we, one more thing? I think just for simplicity's sake, there needs to be also
Hashtag Camp Juxta save the hair.
Hey, that came from Fairbear. That's an inside job. That's an inside job. It still counts. But it's an inside job.
The reason it still counts is because it's Juxta's money and she didn't even ask.
Oh, yeah.
to be fair, also I think hashtag team like Kahlo, Team Ascalia, because some people might not realize it has to say Aniro and
yes.
stuff.
Okay. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Team Aniro got some.
Yes. Okay. So we're
Team
actually
Kahlo position.
Both teams are tied right now at $10. We've had two $5 for Camp Juxta and one for Camp Aniro. We're going to keep an eye on this, and basically, look. We only want you to give when we're live because this is an incentive for us to do more live streaming. Mm-hmm. We know that we kind of fell off the map in terms of live streaming, and this is, I think, a great way to keep us live streaming. And so it doesn't matter who's live streaming. You can donate to either camp. In fact,
that would hurt if Aniro and Ascali were like really pushing hard for donations and you give to me.
Getting
exactly.
it both of us?
Exactly. Yeah. So it doesn't matter who's live streaming. You can just tag it with either Camp Juxta, Camp Aniro, Team Juxta, Team Aniro. It doesn't matter. We're going to keep track of it, and the first one who gets to 2,500 is going to be declared the winner. And
a lot of people are asking what Nika's doing. I think just putting up with this shit is probably enough for Nika.
So Nika,
maybe you're off like finger blasting somebody.
Tell him this is what I deal with on a regular basis, guys. I am staying as far away from this as possible.
Okay.
But here's the thing,
guys,
as someone said in the chat before a $2,500 donation to a single team, don't do that because that would
hail the Lebranimod Primal of Salt, Lebranimod hashtag Camp Aniro.
Oh yeah, I like it. There's another 10 for me. Okay, and so we're gonna keep the alerts on during the show from now on, so that the show is even fertile ground too as well. So make your donation.
Let's share the milk of human kindness.
All right, guys.
What?
Schedules unite. For the love of God, I need you now.
Yes. Yes,
I would just.
I have the power of the Escazua. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you now are going to address the Escazuals, and you, Aniro, you piece of shit, are going to apologize for all the shit you gave the Escazuals and ask for their help.
I absolutely am not, but you will.
Quit wasting my time.
I will ask for your help, and you can't not ask for their help. So I don't apologize for any of the things that I said. But if you want to help. If you want to help Ascalia, you got to help me. So,
guys,
tough luck, fuckers.
All right, guys, I fucking hate him, but please help me.
I would like to speak to the Escazuals here.
No,
really quick.
You shut up. You do not get to address the Escazuals.
I'm going to address the Escazuals.
I have to get your messages at 3 in the morning. Like, fucking Escazuals ruining my stream.
Just listen, Escazuals.
Player haters. Company row.
Yeah, there we go.
Escazuals.
That was a big bump for me, man. Another $50 there.
We all know that Aniro's a dick, and he shits on you guys all the time. He shits on Ascalia all the time, okay? He wants this tattoo, okay? By donating to Ascalia, okay, sure, you save his leg, but you're giving Aniro what he wants. If you really want to hurt
Don't give Aniro what him want.
If you really want to hurt him, you donate to Team Kahlo and Juxta, so he has to shave his beard. And okay, yeah,
He loves that beard.
Is it gonna hurt?
Also, hi, Nika.
Hi, Nika.
Is it gonna hurt for Ascalia to shave his legs? Probably. But you know what? He's a girl. He does that shit anyway. That's not a big deal.
I shave my legs. I don't wax them normally. No.
They'll feel
here's
better.
the problem.
They'll feel better.
You're wasting your time because the first rule of being an Escazual is don't listen to Callow.
Yes.
That is the Fight Club rule number 1 that I have.
Yes. So, yeah, anyway, if you'd like to get in on the game, hashtag your donations with Team
Only
Aniro.
when we're live.
$50 to Aniro via PayPal. Hashtag Company row have another $1.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Bag with which one, douches?
Campanero pulling ahead.
By the way, if you could all just do me a favor, if you're in a Escazual, tag Escazual too so I can rub it in his face later.
Yeah. All right.
So about that main story quest.
All right. Yes. All right. So hang on. I declare this bet on. We're doing this.
Okay, so none of that stuff.
None of that
doesn't count. We're starting now.
No. I'm declaring the bet on. We have started. The terms have been outlined, and I think this will be fun. So if you want to get in on this, make sure that you hit that follow button and join us for streams. And I guess this is also going to be a good incentive for us to actually do stuff when we're streaming and try to be like, hey, give me money and I'll do something stupid and get more towards your camp. Anyway. So I think that this provides. Look at this. Look at how
is now sending nudes, $25 a pic.
Look at how
hashtag Team Juxta.
look at how well we've been able to outline a game that we're gonna play over the next while that has real incentives built into it. Square Enix. Anyway. All right. So
Kahlo, don't worry. Just remember, all the money goes to PayPal and.
Well, I happen to be a kick-ass accountant.
All right, so yes, let's talk about the main storyline quest, the whopping 8 quests that we got.
All right, to be fair, though, it was pretty fucking epic.
Yeah. So, by the way, if you haven't done 3.1's main storyline quests, it only takes about 3 hours to do.
If you're in Nero, you can probably do it quicker.
You could probably do it quicker if you're really dedicated to it. And we're going to get into spoiler territory. So, if you haven't done 3.1 yet, if you haven't done the main storyline quest, you don't want to hear about it, then
pause, do it,
and come back.
Come on back.
And then come on back. So let's talk about the 3.1 MSQ. The biggest thing I noticed was that none of the other content being tied to the MSQ at all.
This is true.
You know, with other patches, you really felt like there was a reason to do MSQ because you had, Snowcloak to unlock or whatever. And in this instance, I didn't do mine until today, and I was able to participate in everything else.
Not even any little duties until the very end.
Yep. There and I gotta say, felt really short.
Kind of lacking.
They were short, but
very short.
Lots of really cool and good voice acting.
Very good.
Lots of new like you can just tell the production that went into a lot of these sequences.
Yeah,
were pretty fucking epic.
Yeah. I have to I'd say that this is the. I mean, they've set up some pretty interesting stuff, and this was much more of like they were setting things up to happen, and we're a little bit more used to the payoff stuff. We were really
big setup here.
We were really used to 2.55 delivering on a lot of.
Sorry, Callow, but hashtag Team Mini Row.
Yeah, that's right.
Who the fuck was that? Who the fuck was
another
that?
$50.
Yes.
Mary Kennett.
Who was
What's
Mary?
Yes.
Mary. Get out. Damn
That's
it.
what's up. Yes. Anyway, so yeah, I actually think that this is the first time I've walked away from any of the MSQ being disappointed with the length. I thought
the length though,
yes,
right?
The
length. Content.
The content was pretty good, and the thing that I was saying was that with 2.55 and 3.0, we had a lot of things that were both paying off and setting new things up at the same time. And there wasn't much that was paying off here. There was just a lot that was being set up. And between Void Arc and the MSQ, I actually think that there's a lot going on in terms of the narrative.
Potus Unite. You got a girl on your side, less than 3.
Yeah. No,
Thank you, Malkyria.
Yeah.
You're too sweet.
So, anyway.
Malkyria, you hear that sound? It's my heart breaking.
All right, now I got a question. Does it feel shorter because there wasn't as much filler and fluff?
Oh, take that into consideration. How often during an MSQ, like, oh, by the way, go deal with these miners and
go make a feast for a person.
Yeah. No, I'll grant you that.
Titan is about to destroy the world. Let's go have a feast.
There was more meat to it. Yes,
it was all meat.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, it kind of was, and I did like that they didn't. I mean, I both did and didn't like that they tied any of the new stuff into the MSQ. Like in terms of like, I think it's a good experiment for them to try. I'm not sure that I want them to do that with every single storyline patch that we get from here on out. I think it was good for this one and let you jump into the new stuff, boom, right away. But I also do recognize that there was a part of me at the time who liked the fact that Snowcloak was a part of the MSQ.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, as a streamer, I liked that the dungeons weren't tied to the MSQ, and any of the activities weren't tied to the MSQ. So I felt like I could do those whenever I wanted, instead of like I gotta hop on stream and do MSQ to unlock stuff.
I unlocked everything. So I think pretty fucking quick.
I think as a Twitch streamer, I liked it a little bit better, but as a player, I actually think that it felt longer. It felt like I had to invest myself a little bit more when there was more tied into it. So
yes, okay, yeah, I agree. But I actually like it this way because I didn't feel like I was rushed to get to anything, nor did I feel like I was going to get left behind at any point. You know, if someone's like, "Hey, I'm going to do this," you can be like, "All right, let me go grab that really quick," and say, "Oh shit, I have to do 3 more missions."
That's true.
Before I get to it, or I'm still stuck behind Snowcloak.
It had, but exactly, it had some benefits and it had some drawbacks. But I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it. So we did again. We had a lot that was being set up. We had the first introduction of the Warriors of Darkness.
Question. Were those, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but were the Warrior of Darkness the party from the 1.0 cutscene?
Yes. Me and Juxta were talking about this.
I noticed that. I'm like, wait a second.
This is something that's really cool. Okay, so when you're going through 2.0, when you first start the game, everyone's talking about the fact, like, oh, the Warriors of Light, we don't quite remember who they are. We can barely make their face out, and that's to play on the fact that you are the Warrior of Light, and this way they don't have to like give an actual name to it,
right?
Because there's so many people, so you're just always
and they
assume
explain why nobody knows who you are.
Exactly. But what if
you weren't?
What if you weren't? What if the Warriors of Darkness were the original Warriors of Light? Because in that flashback that you see with the Echo, you see them fighting an Ascian that they apparently win, but obviously they didn't. And at the end of the 4.0 storyline, on the moon or whatever, when we see the Ascian summon the Warrior of Darkness, maybe they didn't defeat them. Maybe they were somehow, I don't know, overtaken by the Warrior of Dark, or by the Ascians.
Maybe the Ascian just made some good points to him, and they were like, "Oh, okay." Like maybe they were willing convert.
Juxta has another interesting idea, though.
Okay,
all right. So we're the Warriors of Light. We're fighting the Ascians, who are all clothed in black. There is that white Ascian who seems to have a different type of agenda.
That's true.
What if he was the one who's brought in the Warriors of Darkness? Juxta, did you have any legs on that? Anywhere further you wanted to go, or was it just that sort of little idea?
Interesting.
That's pretty much it. Like, Wasn't he also the one he's the one talking to Urianger too?
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm. So that would explain why Urianger is working with an Ascian if the Ascian isn't full-blown evil Ascian.
He's the light Ascian.
Mm-hmm. The light Ascian in the Warriors of Darkness.
The other idea that I had, because the idea that I got at the end of the 4.0 when he first mentions the Warrior of Darkness is that we are becoming such a problem. Everything they throw at us, we just steamroll over. So the only other thing that could possibly take us on is something of equal power. The Warriors of Darkness, right?
Right.
So they've set the Warriors of Darkness onto Eorzea, which they're obviously doing the same thing that we do, because when we first find them, they're beating the shit out of Ravana.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
And when they see us, they basically take to taking us down too, right? So they have a similar idea in mind, which is, the good of Eorzea, but because they're somehow backed by an Ascian, I bet the Ascians have some type of...
We don't even know if they're back... We don't know 100% if they're backed by Ascians.
We don't. But I think that
I think this kind of...
The Ascians might have some type of fail-safe for the Warriors of Darkness, so their hope is they take us out.
Maybe.
And then they take out the Warriors of
Darkness. If
Darkness.
they need to, they take out the Warriors of Darkness, and then they can continue their plans unimpeded.
Maybe they're hoping we'll just take each other out.
That's very possible, too.
But Y'shtola has a very big point saying that, like, they clearly have just come from somewhere. They haven't been here all along, or there's no way we wouldn't have noticed
a lot of
them.
us, or a lot of the Scions point that out, and she, too, says that the ether flows oddly around them, basically. So that's where I feel like I'm putting my money on the fact that these are the original Warriors of Light. They went up against the Ascians in some fashion, right? Weren't able to completely defeat them because, after all, we were the first ones to come up with a way to actually kill the Ascians. So I think that the Ascians somehow manipulated them or were able to get the one up on them and have somehow I don't necessarily know if it's brainwashed, but in some way converted them.
Well, and we don't. He likes to use alternate dimensions so much. I could see that it going that route. It's an alternate dimension where everything is just reversed, and they're like the heroes in that dimension, but they're
that
evil.
sounds way too much like Wings of the Goddess. Like, this is the world where everyone died, and this is the world where everyone lived.
Because they certainly don't reuse material, Nika.
We also got a caller on the line who wants to talk about the main storyline quest. Kooky.
What's up, Kook?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. It's only been a week. Are you sure you got them all done?
Yeah, I've done it. That's why I'm calling in. I've actually done 3.1.
Yay! All right, Kooky,
So-
you're on Camp Nero, right?
No,
you'll see.
Kooky's on Camp Nico.
Kooky.
Which is nothing.
I can't say anything. You'll see.
You just remember who has those Zidane fan service photos.
She's going to vote with her feet. She's going to let her dollars do the talking. So anyway, Kooky. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for calling in. And so what do you want to talk about in regards to the 3.1 MSQ?
There was a lot of things going on. I actually almost cried, or I was in suspense because with that girl falling, I actually thought they were going to kill off someone else again.
Oh my god, I thought they were too. I thought she was going to... Like,
No.
I knew Vidofnir, but at the same time, I'm like, but are they?
No,
I thought it was going to be like Y'shtola would catch her with the ether or something.
As soon as I saw her
way
falling,
cooler, though.
as soon as I
went
saw
back
her
and forth on it.
As soon as I actually saw her character model falling, I was like, nope, there's no way. There's no way. Because the only way that Square Enix could do a death like that and have it be tasteful is to have the priest push her and to have it like pause the way that it did on her face and then the priest's face and then fade to black, you know what I mean? And then cut to her body. That's the only way that Square Enix would have done it. The minute I saw her falling body, I was like, oh, the dragon's gonna catch her. I knew it right off the bat.
I didn't care at all because I'm like, who's this NPC?
That too.
I don't care about this person
That
if you
too.
die.
Yeah.
So,
Except it's a child, so I mean,
I still don't.
That's fine by me.
I still don't care.
I'm okay.
I still would have thought that would have been awesome, though.
Yeah.
I hate children. It's basically the monster.
So anyway, what else, Kook? What else did you like?
I think the fight with your fighting with Emmerich, that was actually kind of fun. You're out there trying to get the hostages quickly before you go back and help Emmerich. So I think that and if you go back, you can go back to the entrance, actually see them fighting.
To that point, that is something. That is something that I love that 3.0 and 3.1 is doing. Like in 3.0, you went back into Copperbell Mines to save Raban. And you got to run through as a solo, one-person mission. And you get to do that in the vault. Like, I really wish that we could, go back and replay those, because just running through those zones as one player with the NPCs is just so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a neat aspect to the story to add a trial that's a little bit different. Like going into multi-person dungeons as a solo player is fun.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a good reuse of the assets, and it also kind of ticks that one off the list. And I don't think we're going to be getting a hard version of that.
No, probably not.
No, that means we will because it's completely different. They'll just reuse the assets.
Hopefully,
I do like though, like Nika said, both through a lot of the 3.0 storylines, especially this one right here, being able to fight alongside the other heroes, and there were tons
it was
of them
something
here.
that kind of like you're fighting with a whole bunch of NPCs. It was something that was added with 3.0 that I think 2.0 series could have benefited from.
Oh yeah,
hugely.
Like how I was so let down the first time you kill Ifrit, and then Thancred's like, "Oh, I'm here now." Oh, you did it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I like it for that. And
I did think though it was a little bit short in that aspect. Like
yes.
I like being able to see them fight.
But at the same time though, like it makes the what is the place that it takes place?
Vault.
The vault. It makes the vault seem like a much more tangible place as opposed to an instanced zone.
Yes,
it actually makes
that.
it a part of the city.
That was actually I had the opposite reaction with that because I've seen this place already.
Yeah.
So just running through it really quickly didn't really have quite the same effect on me. I also felt like it was maybe a little bit lacking because you fight the first little group of mobs, and then one of your party members is like, "I'll hold them off."
Yeah.
Another group, "I'll hold them off." And while it's kind of cool that as you get near the end, it's just like you, Emmerich, and the other dude, Harchefront's brother, I forget his name, but also I want to fight longer with them.
Yeah.
I want to be able to see them. I actually wanted to get screenshots of each of them fighting, but they all broke off so quickly that I didn't have a chance to.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly small gripe, but I think that if you had those instances for places like Holly Tolly and a lot of these instant zones that they feel a little bit more like a part of the world than they do
sure.
Right
I do think though being able to go through and redo those duties, I think that'd be a cool addition.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so one thing I had a really big problem with is when you first see the Warriors of Darkness, how everyone is all fighting and Thancred throws his daggers and...
By the way, Thancred got a badass redesign too.
Thancred is the one who's back now.
I love Thancred. He looks so sexy.
He looks like something from Metal
I just
Gear.
want to see what Minfilia is going to look like. She's going to look so awesome.
He does have a little Metal Gear vibe to it. I will give you that.
You got the scruff going on, the bandana over his eyes,
yep, the scruff,
nasty
and the ponytail.
Yeah, yeah.
And okay... Are there any other ninjas who are salty about the fact that he gets 2 different daggers?
I knew you would be salty.
Come on.
That's
not fair.
As a dual wielder from 11, I knew you would be pissed about that.
Yeah, come on, Square Enix. This is what you need to do, all right? You need to make it so that ninjas offhand, where our shield goes, where nothing actually goes there.
You can glamour it.
Make it so that we can put another dagger in there. It doesn't do any. It doesn't play any relevance. It just changes what's in the offhand.
That'd be fucking badass.
And let us dual wield 2 different things. Square Enix, please.
It'll never happen.
No, Square Enix, if you never do anything for me ever again, please.
No, it's not going to happen.
Matt Hilton.
It's never going to happen.
Yoshi P.
It's not.
Koji Fox.
You're begging.
Soken. I am begging.
You're
I'm on my knees.
You're begging.
Do this.
This is really...
This is what they're going to do if they do anything.
This is hugely pathetic.
Hashtag use the other hand.
This is...
Callow, I've been barking up that tree with wyverns for years now. Don't get your hopes up. It's not going to happen.
Excuse me. Hey. Don't you dare fucking put me on the same level as Dragoons.
You're putting yourself on the same level, man.
My original point was, in that cutscene, everyone's being a badass and having actions, and that I knew it as soon as it started happening, I was just going to stand there and then draw my weapons and then get blasted. And that's what happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
For once, just Square Enix, give us a ball of light or something. Make us, fight a little bit somehow. I mean, I know we can't have actual animations that our job does.
Okay, no, hold on.
Just something.
No, because our characters didn't know what the warriors are. Obviously, we know when we see them. That's a warrior of fucking darkness. They're gonna be our enemies now. But our characters, when they came up on them, they're just some dudes fighting a primal. How were we supposed to know they were gonna fucking attack us?
Well, yeah, but everyone started fighting back and stuff. It's I don't know.
All right, Kook. Thanks for giving us a call here today. We're going to let you have one more point, and then unfortunately we got to move on because we do have a shit ton of emails still to read. So, last point here, Kookie.
Why do they always hide Ida's eyes? Even in that small part.
In that small part, yeah, we didn't get to see her face.
Yeah, you didn't even see her face.
Because
do they have like two different color eyes, or there's just something
know
in there?
everybody wants to see them, so they're
Yeah,
holding
they're just
off and being
teasing
a
it.
cock tease for as long as they can.
Or she's gonna have red eyes, and she's a freaking descendant of.
Could be.
Yeah,
I don't think that is because we did see her eye in the.
We saw one of them.
Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, I don't know what that's all about. Interesting that Ida and Poplamo make their return as members of the Masks. I don't know.
Is that what they were?
I think.
That was weird.
They said that the Masks were.
Do we
ready.
know who they are?
Is
No.
that a thing that? Okay.
I don't think it is.
Because I
don't know
Go
that
ahead,
it
Juxta.
is.
My initial thought was that they were like somewhere like near Little Alamigo.
Yes, that's what I thought as well.
And I got the vibe that they were part of some type of resistance against the Garleans, which, if they were near Alamigo in any way, would also make sense.
Could be. I don't know. It's interesting, and they again setting up a lot more. And now we have confirmation not only that Thancred, all of our friends are alive, and
except for Minfilia.
No, it's going to be a big build to Minfilia, obviously,
But we
we're
don't
going to get
have
her back.
confirmation of her yet.
We're definitely going to get her back.
The other thing too, that bonus scene where we saw Urianger talking with the Asians, and then it cut really quick to the door where we saw somebody's foot.
That was
Alice. Is that,
I believe, yes.
Those it was obviously
it was either yes
her or Alphinaud, and there's no.
It was either Alphinaud or Ysayle.
There.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, it's either Alphinaud or Ysayle.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wait, are you saying Ysayle or
is it Ysayle?
Alice.
Oh, sorry. Who am I thinking of?
Ysayle is Shiva.
Yeah.
Alice is Alphinaud's sister.
Yes. There you go. Thank you.
Just want to make sure we're all on the right page for that one.
Okay.
All right. It's been so long since I've done anything related to Coil. I've not seen that name in forever. So, all right. So, last thing before we get in here to emails, and by the way, thank you, Kooky, for your call. If you would like to be a live participant of Limit Break Radio, send a Skype message to the Skype account Limit Break Radio, or call 810-515-8715 while the show is live. If you happen to be catching us on the podcast, but I think for today we're done with the callers, and we're just going to give you some thoughts to think about for next episode.
Really quick.
We're going to give you some...
Vano Beastman dailies. Fuck yeah. I love the Vano.
Wait, the chat's gonna flip if we don't talk about Krill, guys.
Her voice actor's great. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? The voice actor's great. The characterization's pretty cool.
They didn't do much with her, though.
The students of Baldessian are kind of cool. The crystal that they talked about, that one scene in Matoya's cave, was probably the most interesting thing out of 3.1 that we got lore-wise. But other than that, there's not much I have to say about Cryo. We got to move on.
Oh.
We got... What do you have to say? What do you have to say?
I want to legitimately ask the chat and viewers a question, and that people, for whatever reason, have been flipping out over Krill. And yes, Krill is an awesome character in terms of FF14's lore. She really shits on Alphinaud, and it's hilarious. She's awesome, right, in the story of FF14. But everyone is really hyped about her, and I guarantee you that none of you, or very few of you that were hyped about her, have played FF5, because nobody ever cares about FF5 because it's an awesome game, and nobody ever cares about it. And even less of you who have even played the game ever cared about Krill. So why all of a sudden do people care about her when before nobody cared about her?
The problem is, for me, is she didn't do anything. She told us where Thancred was. That's literally all she did.
Yeah,
so far. People like her because she shits on Alphinaud.
Okay, that's great.
That's
and that's funny, but she unfortunately didn't do anything.
I don't think it's
out of her.
Nika, I don't think it's supposed to be a literal reference to. I think it's just supposed to be a loose reference to FF5.
Yeah,
I don't think it's.
But it's just before the patch dropped, so many people were like hyped about it. But then whenever people talk about the Final Fantasies, they always say, "Oh, skip 5 and play." Whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think we have to do.
Why do you care so much?
I don't think we have to do a whole lot of mental gymnastics to ask ourselves why does Cryo exist in FF5's world and now is in FF14's world.
Not the same.
It's just it's just a name.
Just like it's not the same Matoya.
And it's a light reference to it. So that's really all it is. It's just a small callback, and the character's great. The character shits on Alphinaud, and I think that's what everyone likes. All right, but I want to give you guys some things to think while we're getting ready for episode number 40, because we are coming up on episode number 40. So let's give some digestible facts here of about 3.1 versus 2.1 and how much content we actually saw delivered to us. We touched on this a little bit when Joe never called up, and in terms of overall size, scale, scope of the patch and what it adds to the game, how does 3.1 stack up with all of the other 2.x patches, especially 2.1? And let's just look at some of the hard data from what we got when patch 2.1 was released. From 2.0 to 2.1, there was only 109 days, whereas with 3.0 to 3.1, there was 139 days.
An extra month.
An extra 60 or an extra 30 days in there. With the main storyline quest, we got 16 total quests added with 2.1.
Yep.
Which is
double.
Yep.
That's double what we got.
Here's what I have to ask you, though, because you're right, that is double, but that also includes shitty little things like go help these miners, pick up this crap, blah, 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 blah.
Yes. That we did identify that 2.0 was a little bit more grind heavy, and this has a little bit more meat to it.
Yep.
But yes, we only. But in terms of like the number of quests it gave us, 16 versus the 8 that we got 3.0 to 3.1. We had the addition of Crystal Tower, which that's
Void Art. Okay, sure,
that's fine. Okay, we'll call that a wash.
Void Art design trumps.
We got Moogle hard mode, which before we had only had the story. We got Ifrit, Garuda, Titan, and Ultima EX.
Oh, 4 X modes.
We got 4 X modes, and only this go around we only got one.
And no trial.
We got 3 dungeons. We got Copper Bell hard, Hawk Manor hard, and Pharaoh Sirius normal. We got 2 tribes of Beast Tribe quests, the Amalja and the Sylph, and we got Hildebrand quests, 4 side quests, and the Gilgamesh trial.
No, that was in 2.
I'm sorry. That was 2.2.
But the Hildebrand ones, those were
in every single patch.
Every single patch. And 2.2, those were, or 2.1, those were really, really heavily used cutscenes. Like, those were really involved.
Yeah.
They showed a lot of new stuff, too.
Yes. New technology of the face and stuff.
Right.
So
we also got the addition of Wolves Den, treasure hunts, the housing system, which, let's be honest, the housing system probably should have been there from day one.
Yeah.
That's just that. Let's be truthful about that. Some of these were make goods from 2, like they should have been there from 2.0.
Right.
Like Crystal Tower was intended to be there from 2.0. That's what they had said at the time.
Really?
Yeah, that was supposed to be in 2.0, and we got it with 2.1. So they also added the duty roulette, which is a huge quality of life.
Yeah.
And they made significant battle adjustments, which we didn't see nearly as many battle adjustments.
They adjusted like practically every single class.
Yes.
And they made Warrior not awful.
Warrior, yes.
They made Warrior not awful.
So to be fair, though, battle adjustments should only happen if they need to happen.
How can anyone look at that and empirically say that we didn't get less with 3.1 and we waited longer?
We definitely got less.
We got less and we waited longer. Now, I mean, I've defended some of the additions to the game. I like what they've added with the diadem, and they've addressed some of the complaints and the problems. And yes, sometimes this is going to happen when you have a game that is kind of, it's got a pool of endgame players. You have to try to satisfy them, and not everything in 2.1 was to satisfy all of the endgame. Most of that was level 50 content, though. I will say that a lot of what we just outlined was level 50 content at the time, and so to get way less level 60 content from 3.0 to 3.1, and to have it take a noticeably longer time, like it felt way longer, way longer.
Especially after 2.55.
Yes.
It was the first time that I felt and didn't log into the game for an extended period of time.
Yeah, same here.
I have to say that overall, given what we've gotten, when you lay it out like that, when you lay it out versus what we got in 2.1, this is a really not good trend. This is not a good trend. I mean, if we're waiting longer to get less, that's not good. That's not good from a development standpoint. I have to wonder what's going wrong over there.
Do you think it could be because of the diadem being a completely different kind of event in the game?
I'm only going to say no. You know what? The only defense that has is if it is way more complex than the community is able to make sense of right now. That's the only way that you can defend that. Because if that's all it is, if what Nika and I experienced today, if that's literally all that system has to offer, then it's really Like,
Pretty
no,
lame.
it's
agree.
really not. I don't think that really justified the amount of development time that it took. I mean, like, let's look really plainly at the amount of content that we got versus what we've been getting and the amount of time that it took. And I understand. Again, people are going to probably jump all over me because, the devs need their time off, and
they had a week, not a month.
No, but even still, if we can forgive the month extra time it takes if we still have the same amount of content.
Which Yoshi P promised.
Yes, and it was a hit to content. That's what I think is the problem. And Yoshi P said that wasn't going to be the case, and it was. And so I'd like everyone to just sort of sit around and chew on this idea and share your thoughts. Let it gestate for a week and share your thoughts with us on the next episode by tuning in live, first of all, next week, because we're also going to be having an exciting guest. We're going to have one or maybe a few of the Reddit mods to come on and talk on the show, and we're going to try to put a nail in that person. That person. We're going to try to put a nail in that discussion, and at the same time, we'd also like to hear about what we received with 3.1 and how you feel about it when it stacks up against the other content that we've received in this game. But we have been yapping for almost 2.5 hours now, and we haven't even read the first email, and we've gotten 10 new ones and a ton that have built up over the last couple of weeks. So we need to clear some of these off. And Kahlo, why don't we start with you for emails?
All right. I'm actually going to take the first long one, though, so when we get to Jux, he can go back up to Thessians.
Okay.
All right. Hey, folks, just a quick note here. I was listening to one of your previous episodes where Nero was talking about older MMOs he's tried. One he mentions is Horizon, which he seemed to believe is no longer around. I thought it might be of interest to him or maybe others to know that it's still around and playable, though it's under the name Estaria Chronicles of the Gifted.
I don't know why you would, but okay.
Long story short, it changed hands a few times, but ultimately ended up being purchased by a small developer comprised of some of the game's original creators. They've been keeping it going for a while now with a small and loyal, if rather cliquish, player base. Dragons are a full playable race with their own playstyle, progression, and skills, completely separate from the bipedal races. You begin as a hatchling, advance to an adult, and then ultimately to an ancient dragon, with each stage involving a pretty epic quest line. Dragons also accumulate their own horde, which becomes a source of power for them. They also have their own crafting system, crafting spells, claws, and scales, and be with different stats, etc.
That sounds awesome.
Astaria's housing system, in my opinion, far surpasses FF14's in just about all ways, which isn't saying much if I'm being honest. Aside from the housing options for the bipedal races, dragons have their own system in the form of layers whose layouts can be expanded, customized, etc.
It is. Yeah, that's kind of a cool idea. They had a lot of these ideas that they were like pitching around the idea of the game, and then a lot of it
happened.
Well, a lot of it was either in place and bad or not in place when I played it. So yeah.
Overall, there's a lot of unique and very creative ideas wrapped up in that game. Despite its age and torrid development history, it does quite a lot of things that I think newer MMOs could do well to draw inspiration from. It has a depth and openness most current developers, including Yoshi P, routinely sacrifice at the altar of streamlining. Anyway, if any of you are at all curious about it, their site is Astaria.com. Keep up the great work and all the best. Shari Falst a lot of Leviathan. I bet they're a Dragoon. P.S. I'm not an Astaria dev, nor am I even playing it, though I do check it out from time to time and keep track of what's going on. P.P.S. Nika. Hi. PPPS. Juxta, sir, your drops are great. Don't let those other clowns tell you otherwise.
All right. And thank you for the email letting us know about Horizon still around. Yeah, it is one that I reference a lot when I kind of make fun of failed MMOs because it didn't do very well. And I should mention that it was also Atari developed, so there was really no excuse for the state that game came out in, which is really what a lot of the criticism centered around. So,
Juxta, you want to take the email?
This next email cannot be real.
What next email? Well, hold on. Justice is going to read this one from Thessian up top.
Okay.
Jeez. Hello, LBR crew. I just wanted to bring us back to the Salted Earth episode for a moment. About the 2-hour mark, I listened to the episode enough to remember it. There was a little bet made between Nika and Mr. Salty Pants and Nero.
Uh-oh.
This was about the bet was whether or not we would see new and different content before 4.0, and I think with the airship exploration contents, I would have to say that Nika won this battle. Sorry for writing this email so late, and I hope you get to it. I will be watching Sunday on Twitch as I make a part of my daily routine.
Now, this puts me in a tough position because this turns my own words earlier in the show against me.
Your words earlier just damned you on this point.
So does. It so does.
And so, bet concluded.
Now, unfortunately, Nika is too much of a pansy to put any real meat into these bets, so I'm pretty sure all she has is bragging rights.
No, I have to sing a song.
No,
that's right.
You came up. You said you would write lyrics for songs.
Yeah, Kala would write a ballad.
Yep, you gotta write the lyrics, and I gotta sing the song.
Ode to the Casual.
Ode to the Casual.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Look forward to that in the next episode.
See, Limit Break Radio does the best bets of any Final Fantasy 14 podcast anywhere because you guys benefit. You get to watch us. You get to watch us get tattooed or shaved on the air or waxed, whatever the case may be. But we're putting our body on the line, our health and safety on the line for your entertainment. As not only that, but we're also going to put our dignity on the line. And now I have to sing a song written by Kahlo. Great.
Nailed it!
To the Casual.
I'm sure that this is going to go really fucking well. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you very much for
Thank you for
reminding
pointing
us.
that out because I did.
Damn it.
Yeah, none of us. Oh, that's great.
No, Thessian,
Thank
damn
you,
it.
Thessian.
Why?
Good job.
Why did you have to remind everyone? It's bullshit.
Nika Heart for Thessian.
All right. Ascalia,
you
how
gonna
much?
read this next one?
Ascalia, how much?
Lord.
Or,
All right.
Well, no, okay. Well, Ascalia brought it up.
Yeah,
so I think he
read
gets
it.
to.
All right. Howdy, y'all. Please do ignore my bad spelling, but I just had to write you guys. I am Robert Fox of Cactuar. I just started this episode after finishing my Hunger Man dinner watching Duckin' Dynasty. I had a few questions for you
This is how it's
guys.
spelled, Duckin' Dynasty.
It is written this way.
So
guys.
I am doing as best I can to.
Duckin' Dynasty.
Do you think we will get a truck mount? One thing I really love about Final Fantasy is getting to mount things. I bet Juxta really relates to that. But I want to ride my Ford in Final Fantasy. My favorite class is that gun class because I love guns. Peace
an
out,
American.
y'all. Great show. I wanted to call today, but my phone fell into the gravy and does not work. Keep up the good job, and let's sign a petition for a truck mount. Sincerely yours, Robert Fox, leader of the Highway Bandits.
He did not put sincerely yours.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to have to actually say, you know what? Unfortunately, this is not real. I bet it's one of those Reddit or BG people who's like, you don't have to read every email you get on the air. And you're right, we don't.
Why the fuck would we not read this?
Right? The reason we read shit is because it's fucking funny and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
You're probably like, I'm going to show these idiots. I'm going to show they're a bunch of fucking bitches. They don't know what they're doing. They're fucking cocksuckers.
They're just Ron Burgundies. They'll read whatever they're put in front of them. Yeah.
If they made the truck mount a throwback to FF7's truck seed, people would embrace it.
Oh my
People
God.
would embrace it.
Limit Break Radio, making your trolling emails relevant.
Oh my God, Nika.
Had to happen.
They would. It's part of the gold saucer. You for winning so many times, you get the truck mount. There you go.
Veteran reward for 700 days.
There you go.
God.
I
There
could
you
see
go.
it being a gold saucer game. You can play it in the gold saucer in FF7.
All right, Nika.
How about you take this next email here from Blivin the Great?
Sure. It says, hello, Blivin the Great of Leviathan here. I just wanted to point something out that I'm sure you just didn't think of on the last episode. If they had kept Never Again Reap and Fractal in the Expert Roulette, it would have required 170 to get into the 2 new dungeons. How would a new player even get to 170? If the new level 60 roulette didn't exist, their options would be to just do leveling trial and level 50 roulette, as those are the only roulettes that give law, and I believe those 3 roulettes only combine for a total of 280 law a day. They would just have to spam Fractal, Never Reap, or the reactor without having a roulette to help them. You also stated that they lowered the amount of tomes these dungeons gave, but actually they lowered the amount of esoterics but increased the law. Just look at the options for getting from 145 to 170.
Yeah, like I said,
Pretty
they
miserable.
lowered the tome option because no one gives a fuck about law.
No, but he's talking about with the newer players. If these were all
No,
part of the
I
expert roulette, they
understand.
wouldn't be able to do it.
Nika. I understand. I'm not a Scully. I'm not stupid. I understand. I just don't give a shit.
You're getting lazier with those.
He continues and says that at I-170, you can do Alexander Normal, I-175 is Void Arc, I-179 is Diadem, but that 25 level feels like it's going to be a brutal experience for new players. TLDR, they had to make level 60 roulette because the grind to get from I-145 to I-170 for new players would have been miserable otherwise.
Yeah,
fair point.
Just go buy crafted gear.
Fair point. That is, I agree, and I do think that
When you think about the next dungeons that come out are going to be like the next level,
Yes.
I level, it's going to be even farther if they were all under expert roulette. So that makes sense.
And the thing is at some point all of all of this grouping of dungeons is going to get thrown into that level 60 as soon as we move on in 4.0, much like all of the level 50s got grouped into one category as well. I think the criticism though lies in the fact that you've now got 2 roulettes that only give you binary options between dungeons. That if you had held off on the level 50 roulette for just 1 patch and put it in 3.2, then and you know what, for that, you know, for that point, like, why not just like level the eye or lower the eye level requirements temporarily for, or remove them altogether for the first for those 2 dungeons. Like,
you can't remove the eye level altogether.
Maybe not. Okay, fine, but then just lower it.
And like dying.
Then just lower it. That's all. I mean, just make it. Yeah. So some people are gonna struggle a little bit with it, but like, is anyone really failing on any of those? Like, it's really not that hard. So, you know, like, I kind of feel like there would have been ways to balance it out, and then that way you would have had an expert roulette that's rouletting 4 dungeons in a row, and then you take all 4 of those, throw them into a level 60 category, and put 2 new dungeons in its own expert category in 3.2. That would, to me, that would have been a better way to structure it, but what the fuck do I know? So
true, but it will balance out.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, it will. Anyway, all right. So it'll take time, but yeah, Bliven, it will balance out. Thank you for that email. Juxta, how about you take this next one from Vanyan?
Hello, host. I just want to say thank you for doing this show. I was in a tough spot in my life, and when I felt down, I would listen to you guys, and it would put me in a better mood. Now I'm doing good, and I'm on Patreon now. Sincerely, Vanyan of Midgard Stormer.
Well, thank you,
Vanyan.
Thank you so much for hitting our Patreon page. If you want to support Limit Break Radio, you can do so at patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. It's the best and most efficient way for you to help support Limit Break Radio, and boy, we really have appreciated the support since we've launched the campaign, and we really hope that you've enjoyed what you've gotten out of it, whether you've gotten dog tags or keychains. We're very
our grossly insensitive green room videos.
We're very, very, very close. Actually, I think we actually have what is the closest to the final image. This is, I think we can share this on stream. We finally do have an image here from Max V to share with you guys as per the final the final design for.
This is finished here
for the poster and the T-shirt, which those will hopefully now be going out soon. I think, yeah, this is pretty close. I think this is pretty close to final here, guys. So we're gonna share this on stream with you right now. So if you'd like to help support us over at patreon.com/Limit Break Radio, we would really like if you do. We do apologize to people who have ordered posters and T-shirts that haven't gotten them yet. Obviously, we can't print them until it's done, but it's done. Guys, it's done.
It's really close to being done.
Let's check it out. Let's there
look
it is.
at it.
It's there. It's on the stream, guys. There it is.
You know what I see when I look at this?
What do you
This
see?
is what I see. All right. First of all, it gives me a very like Star Wars vibe, okay, or Star Wars vibe.
Yeah.
And we have a Nero in the center there.
Yeah.
You're the main villain of this flick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Because
that.
you look like sinister and evil.
Yes.
And the way that Juxta's down there, he kind of looks like he's shadowy too. So he's your minion. He's your underling. Okay. And he's clashing with the good side, which is Ascalia and Nika above them there because she's facing away from you. She's opposing the way that you are, right? And me up there in the corner, I'm like the wild card. You know, I kind of got my own agenda. You have no idea what side I'm backing. This would be a good flick.
I really like it. I like how inspired it is by old rock and roll posters.
You would.
I love the colors too. When we got the black and white version of this, I was so fucking impressed with what was there, and then the color that Max has added to this image is fantastic. So if you want to pick up one of these exclusive T-shirts or posters, head on over to limitbreakradio.com. Or patreon.com/Limit Break Radio and consider supporting Limit Break Radio. We put it to good use it's really through your help, it's through your support that we're able to do this show each and every single week. So if it's something that you listen to all the time and something that you enjoy, maybe you're one of the newer people that we've picked up since the Reddit drama or in the last couple of weeks that we've gotten a lot of attention, and you really like what you found and you want to know, oh, well, what do I do to keep this product around? Well, you go over to patreon.com/limitbreakradio and you toss in even $1 a month. $1 a month helps out more than you know. And if you do put in at least just $1, you get access to our bonus content, which is our green room videos. All of our Patreon members got access to the roast a couple of days early. And when this next video for Final Encounter Cast comes out, you'll get a preview of that as well.
And you don't want to miss this.
You get early access to most of our videos, and no one else gets access to the green room videos. Only Patreons.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So anyway, that's patreon.com/limitbreakradio. And again, big thank you to everyone who has already decided to help. So, all right, who's going to take this?
I got this next one because it's a long one.
Okay.
Hey, LBR crew. I just listened to the segment where the player from Chocobo called in. Arthas? I wasn't sure of his name.
Yes.
That segment...
Arthurs.
It's like King Arthur, but there's multiples.
Yes.
Arthurs. That segment was fucking fantastic.
Thank you.
I genuinely propose that you guys regularly check in with each other, as he made some really good points. Points that I would take to heart if I was still raiding. As it stands, in North America, there's a gaping chasm the size of Juxta's mouth between the raid orphans with no statics and no clear prospects to join one struggling to learn, and the statics knocking out clears every reset. If LBR listeners with clears took it upon themselves to treat Savage Pugs as straight up training parties, if they looked on it as an investment in the raid community itself, with the higher caliber of player coming out of them as the payout, by the time the second segment of Alex comes around, there could actually be a cultural shift on the North American servers in favor of a more community-oriented raid structure, more akin to the way Chocobo was described, and that chasm may slowly shrink. If he was brought back to talk about how he sees his own raid community grow, how people who he saw struggle in A1 start getting clears in A3, how those players start giving back and teaching others A1, maybe North America will decide to follow suit. It may help make endgame raiding more accessible to newcomers or bring back those that have left. Treat the segment like a cultural exchange program. Just one without any weeb shit. Hi, Nika.
Oh! Nika Slam. Nika Slam.
What?
Nika Slam. I like it. I approve.
Was that shots fired?
That was.
Whoa, shots fired.
I don't even know what shots those is firing.
Apparently, they must take a little bit of guff with us calling you the endgame correspondent.
No, I think he's saying that I'm a weeb.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, no, that's what I think it is. It's more of
I was thinking all those weird Japanese.
She's a total weeb.
Nika's a total weeb, and she'd be the first one to admit it.
All right.
Awkward.
Oh no.
Here's the thing.
That's only because she takes offense to the term weeb.
Here's the thing, though.
You meet all of the requirements.
No, I don't.
Including asking for hentai.
You absolutely do. You absolutely do. Anyone who posts about hentai on their Facebook publicly, weeb.
Okay.
Weeb.
It wasn't public, actually.
Let me ask you this: do you have a body pillow?
Also,
No,
yes.
I don't. But I told you I would take one if someone made one of Amric for me.
You were doing so good.
Can it also have a butter knife in the middle of its chest? I know that would be
better yet. We should have paid Senpai to do that when she was at work.
I know it would be awkward to sleep with it like that, but I mean, like, I think that would just
a
be better.
hole in the middle of it where you can put your drink.
There you go. You put your drink. Yeah, you're gonna.
Yeah. Good one.
Drinks are totally gonna go in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A1 Savage parties would most likely...
That's a really fleshy, toned cup holder that you have there, Ascalia.
Yeah, nice dick koozie you got, man.
Yeah, why does it seem to be right on the asshole? I don't...
Why is it moist?
I feel like with Ascalia, we'd find like the armpit. He seems like one of those guys that has an armpit fetish. Yeah,
it's I go along with most of the jokes that we make about that, but no,
see that one hit home.
Sir Emmerich body pillow to him would be the Sir Emmerich cup holder. You just brand it differently. That's all right.
Here's the thing, though. A1 Savage parties would most likely extend past teaching raid mechanics and be about teaching people their goddamn job. My only concern is that the NA player base simply can't take any fucking constructive criticism without throwing back a metric fuck ton of salt. I've personally been in a final coil setting as a black mage where I was outgeared by our other black mage and still out DPS them. I tried to explain how my rotation worked and why it performed better. This went on for weeks. The culmination of this was her taking personal offense to my suggestions. Apparently it was disrespectful, so she whined to her boyfriend, one of our tanks, and after an unrelated offhand joke taken way too personally, they both left and refused to ever talk to me again. She needed to get good. I tried to help her get good. I had spent days researching black mage rotations, macros, and all kinds of other ways to eke out damage, and it worked. I offered to share the fruits of my labors without a second thought, but she actively refused to even try it. Now, I am not a hardcore player, not at all, but I don't want to be handed clears either. This isn't Pee-wee T-ball. I don't need a shitty participation trophy. Challenge me to be a better player with a reasonable difficulty progression, force me to abandon bad rotations, and give me a real reward for doing it. Allowing players to fail their way upwards only creates an entitled player base incapable of actually playing the game. When an actual and reasonable challenge rears its head, see Steps of Faith, instead of nutting up and working at it, the player base devolves into mewling children crying for easier content. Circling back to the start of this email, if the community starts teaching the incoming players, those players need to accept that their playstyle may not be suitable for endgame. They can't put a Reddit and jam their fingers into their ears shouting la 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 to drown out the criticism. This became way longer than I intended, so feel free to crop anything out if you decide to put it on air. And this comes from Edith Rivenox from Excalibur.
Thank you very much for that email, and a lot of good points being raised in there.
On both sides of the fence.
And I do think that, the thing with Alex Savage that everyone identified right off the bat was that there was a steep difficulty increase between Savage 2 and Savage 3. And I actually think that maybe Square Enix has thought about gear progression and challenged the community a little bit more because of how challenging A3S is, and saying that, look, you're probably going to need some players that have some 210 pieces in there to really be effective at this, and the really, really hardcore are going to be able to get through while we have an I-210 cap. That's going to create an opportunity for Alex Savage to continue to be a little bit more relevant to people as we go through towards 3.2, because I think a lot of the criticism that Coil had was that for the people who were plugged into it, they were able to progress through it way too quickly and be able to get to the other side, and then their raid static broke while waiting for the next turn of Coil because it was 2 patches away. And so they've tried to now artificially extend that out by pumping up the difficulty, and for an entire patch we sat around and said that they artificially increased the difficulty. But what if they were doing that with a mind towards the diadem and all of the rewards that we're going to be getting out of the diadem, pushing our gear towards the 210 and just the I-210 stuff instead of just the 200 stuff that we're getting with ESOs. So yeah, pushing it a little bit more, I think that actually kind of makes sense. But the question is was it more was the effect of it breaking raid statics, was it worse between first Coil and second Coil, or was it worse between Alex Savage 1 and Alex Savage 2? I don't think we're going to be able to tell long term until we get to Alex Savage 2. It's just a structural change, and I think I have to walk back a lot of what my criticisms were, because there is still going to be an incentive to clear it. It's just not going to necessarily exist at the same time that it did in the 2.0 structure.
I feel like Alex Savage 1 alone broke way more statics than all of Coil. So that's kind of my feelings on that. Yeah, literally just the 4 turns that currently exist compared to all 13 of Coil has broken more statics.
But we're saying that without any data on how many people have cleared.
I know that's clearly not hard fact, and by the amount of people that complain and talk about my raid static is getting a burnout and it's done and it's broken. I feel like Coil was a lot, people didn't get as big of a burnout because Coil was a reasonable amount of progression.
But I'm gonna defend the decision by Yoshi P saying that they were gonna try some new things and trying a new structure towards presenting and implementing your raid content. That's part of it. They did take a lot of feedback with Coil. They took a ton of feedback with Coil, and they're trying. To me, this says they're trying a different way. Not that they knew that the outcome would be better or worse, but that they were going to try something different, and that in the end, the numbers won't lie. That if it shows that within the same time period that less statics empirically were able to get through Alex Savage than were able to get through the first 4 turns of coil or 5 turns of coil, then I think that they're going to have a real problem that they have to address. And that there's going to be no way that they're going to avoid being able to address it in the 4.0 series of content. But I think they are trying something new, and just trying something new is a defensible position in and of itself. So that's my opinion on it. So, all right.
I think Nika should take this next one.
Okay, Nika, why don't you take this next email?
Because she has a lovely voice with great range that doesn't get used often enough.
Wait, what?
That'll make sense later. Just read it.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. All right. Hello,
Have fun with it.
guys. Hello, guys, and hi, Nika. Okay, I'm scared now. This is Mujaya Kamri of Marlboro server, wanting to extend a massive congratulations to the Extra Life donation drive of Team LV Army. I managed to get a few donations, and I'm very glad to have helped out. To be perfectly honest, my anxiety crept up on me rather quickly in the Ventrilo, which is why I had to leave in a flash. I really should listen on Twitch Live and then do a call-in or something like that in the future. I don't have too much to say that really hasn't been said already about patch 3.1, except that I am now counting down the minutes to when I can wake up to get started. Major shout out to the Machine Free Company on Marlboro. I particularly would like to name Natsu Twin Sword, Light Kun, and my Eorzea fiance Monokuma Enoshima. The 4 of us are the hottest male Mikote Fab 4 on the server, if not the whole game. Thank you guys for being incredible folks to feed my FF14 obsession with your 3+ hours of podcast content each week. At first I was thinking, wow, really? 3 hours? But now it just flows like wine in my earbuds. Fine wine in my earbuds. And Nero, I know you said that you're no community leader, and while that is true, your contribution to other people who play this game can't be denied. You're a good man. The rest of you are cool too. Hearts and farts.
Okay.
Mujaya. P.S. Escalia, I main Dragoon as well and feel your pain daily. I always enjoy hearing your take on Dragoon rotation and playstyle. With that said, I would love to invite you to mine and Mono's eternal bonding ceremony coming up very soon. Just let me know so I can forward the details. If you can't, it's no real bother.
Yeah. Work that shit out off here.
That doesn't seem like a name that I'm familiar with in the Twitch chat, unless they're going by something different in the Twitch chat. But Mujaya, if you are in the Twitch chat, or if you're not, you should definitely become more active since we're going to be streaming more now. Becoming more active in the Twitch chat and getting to know us as well as our other Twitch chatters a little bit more, I think will help quite a lot with that anxiety for future events where we might be on Ventrilo, or even if you decide to start streaming yourself.
All right.
I do like that Hearts and Fart has been made like a salutation or whatever.
Hearts and Fart. Yeah. Instead of love.
Yeah.
I should actually use less than 3s and farts. Hearts
all right. You think you can do this next one, or you want me to take it?
I'll do it.
It's an ear hater again.
Well, they're going by LBR Critiquer XIV, aka a Nero hater. You say you love all critiques, so here we go. Watching and or listening to LBR is akin to watching your neighbor's house catch fire.
I like that.
You're glad it's not your house, but at the same time you're concerned and wish to help, if only a little. Nero's parade of rants for the sake of ranting at times bursts out with this in your face attitude for no end goal that often steals time from the other hosts.
Here, give me my time back.
You're no ninja.
Kahlo's constant jokes engulf you in a roller coaster ride of vile humor.
I'll take that.
Vile? I don't think you've ever gotten...
I'm vile.
No. I think that this
crude sometimes?
Yeah.
Not funny sometimes.
I think I reach...
Maybe just bad?
I reach more towards
shut
vile.
your whore mouth.
Juxta's poor communication skills when presenting callers, as well as inconsistency with drops and reasonless predictions makes me wonder why he has the keys to this house.
When does comedy start?
Here. Why does he have keys to the house?
That's true. I wonder that myself sometimes. Nika's soft voice that makes you wonder if she started this fire as an insurance scam of some sort.
She's not that clever.
I swear she's hiding something, and her constant disappearing acts makes you really wonder. On top of that, her goody huge femro shoes attitude. So I like that. That's good.
I like it too.
Where was this guy for the roast?
I know, right? Escalia with the same level of inconsistency as Juxta never seems to speak up as often as he is definitely able to.
Yeah, slacker.
Kooky is pure perfection, however.
Yeah, we'll give you that.
The entire crew seems to struggle with deciding roasting who's going to read emails, so they pass it off to the guy with the forehead, John Cusack, whose admirable reading abilities don't outweigh the size of his ego.
That's also true.
Perfect roasting. Where was this?
The crew members present at the studio often sidetrack and rush the show due to their body temperatures reaching uncomfortable levels.
Whoa, 3 hours is rushing?
Yeah, we're rushing big time.
Are you kidding?
Well, limit-breaking news segment, but we, the audience, wouldn't mind if you all asked or wished to take a 5-minute intermission. It's a long show, and we understand that you just need a few minutes to be relieved and get some fresh air. On top of the rushing of the show, we, the viewers, understand that you are taking days out of your schedule, traveling distances to make the show, and what to make the show what it is, and wait, to make the show what it is, but it is annoying and really unprofessional as hell having your cell phones ring listening to your complaints about getting out on time. I'm sorry. No, I gotta call bullshit on this. When you do 3 hours every week, absolutely uninterrupted.
Oh, Jesus, it stinks in here.
Like, no, well, yeah, it does.
It actually smells like balls today. I was just thinking that.
That's a new thing.
And I understand your comment about taking a break, and that's not lost on me, and maybe we should implement breaks, but you know what? There's 2 reasons that we don't. A, you lose a lot of momentum when you implement a break. B, especially a break that's longer than 60 seconds or 2 minutes. People tend...
We like to keep the energy rolling.
We do.
Our original show had 3 parts, and we took breaks. And
yes.
We decided we didn't like that format anymore.
Right. Yep. Yes. And we also were recording that show once a month, and I don't like... dude, I don't want... We lost energy every time we did
Absolutely.
that.
By the time we came back for the 3rd segment, which was kind of unofficially dubbed the email segment, like we felt like
exhausted.
We were dragging.
Yes.
We weren't able to put in a lot into it.
Yeah.
And what we do now, doing it once a week and going for the full straight hours, we start at the top of the hill, and once we get rolling...
Yeah, and
we don't want to stop.
As soon as we step out of the room, like our energy level plummets.
Yeah.
The second we're out of the room, we're just like, oh, okay.
You can see it on the green room video.
Yeah,
you can.
You'll see
Any of the
difference in
Patreon
our
members will be able to see that.
Valid criticism, though.
So it's annoying to listen about your complaints about getting out of the studio. Well, it's annoying to listen to read this shit. Like, what the fuck? I mean,
you got some good. I'm with you, a Nero hater. I hate him too.
Honestly, like I think that's pretty valid to say. Hey, we've been sitting here for 3 hours. We're all sweating our asses off. We do want to go, and there's 39 more pages of emails that we're not going to read. Sorry. Well, you want us to keep going until we're fucking like what? How late?
Eat my dick!
Like, how much do you want?
These drops are inconsistent,
Jesus Christ. Which brings me to the man of the hour, Nero, the most human pile of filth ever to grace this world, with his torrent of hate directed at the glamour endgame, yet imagines himself after Odin, which takes the shape and form of whoever it killed last. I forgot that it was supposed to be a part of my roast of Nero Grigori, but then I realized his crew aren't worth the time, but only put a couple of bucks at places that I will not mention him again on air, because others may be annoyed by that sort of advertisement. Well written paragraph there.
I think you fucked that up. Let me try that.
Yeah.
I forgot that was supposed to be part of my roast of a Nero, but then I realized him and his crew aren't worth the time, but only a couple of bucks at places that I will not mention again on air because others may be annoyed by that sort of advertisement.
This is written so shitty. This is written so shit. Like you're right. You're writing how you think people talk, but you're writing how you think people talk in their head. This is not how fucking people talk. This is not how people read, and this is not an easy email to read. Congratulations, you fuckwit.
I think it's fine to read.
Nice job. You go ahead, then read the rest of it.
There are some suggestions I have for LBR, so let's start with the last and definitely the least. Juxta, keep trying. Timing drops and selecting flavorful ones can be difficult, and now that your number of drops has increased, mix it up more. It's okay to not be funny.
Jesus,
just look at Ascalia.
This guy has no idea. First of all, he has no idea what it's like to produce a show. He has no idea what it's like to have to fire drops. He has no idea what it's like to run the show. Yeah, but he's making all of the most unfair criticisms and not actually adjust. Like this isn't shit that we can adjust. This is performance shit that people can pick apart if they want to. Okay, this is shit that we do on another level from other podcasts. Our game is upped from other podcasts on all of these points.
Should that though then cut us some slack because we're better than other podcasts?
Or does that mean we should rise up to the next?
Just because we're better than other podcasts doesn't mean that we should be lax.
Oh yeah,
on those
let's just transcend radio itself.
Well, I'm just saying, obviously, like, you want to put us up next to, some guys that are interviewing a couple, right, and how they play Final Fantasy. Obviously, we're going to be more entertaining than they are, right? But that doesn't mean that we should, be excused from the gavel.
I mean, I do love criticism.
Plus, come on, he just dug at Escalia.
You like glazed over in a Escalia burn.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was an okay one.
It was an okay
for
this guy.
It was an for this guy.
I think Hollow said today.
For this guy, it was good.
Anyway,
right,
adding to that, I would like you all to go back and take Escalia's "oh ho ho, he's pissed" and add that in as a drop. I feel like it would be useful for many of Nero's tirades. It's not a bad idea. For emails in general, while the crew often leaves them to Kahlo to read, having others read them is quite refreshing. Just remember, we are on your time. Unless we're watching live, we can pause and rewind. So take a deep breath, slow down, and read the email with vigor. Escalia tends to speed through it and then just jumble sentences together. Juxta often stumbles over himself, I think, because he feels rushed. And Nero is aight. Nika has far too great of a voice and range of voices to read so little. Have more fun with the emails. Since there's
did it sound a little bit like her? That was weird. I thought she had said that for just half a second.
Definitely did not
for
say
a
that.
half second. I thought you were off mic and said that. That was weird.
Since there's no template for emails and we all send them in from different platforms, it's very difficult for our emails to be comprehensible at times.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Like yours is. Yeah.
Overall, despite the
when you think you know how people talk and you try to write that way, yeah, that's how your emails come off.
Triggered right now?
No,
you seem triggered. He's gonna think you're triggered. I guarantee you.
Oh, he can think whatever.
People are gonna think Nero's triggered.
You do sound pretty salty right now.
They can think whatever they want. I'm just saying, like, if anyone else had this email sitting in front of them, you pre-read all the shit. If anyone else had this email written in front of them, they like everyone else would stumble over it because this guy just fucking writes how he thinks people talk.
You guys need to get good. He has one more sentence, all right? Because 2 more. He has a punctuation in there. Overall, despite the host's inconsistency to show up at times, the candor you all present yourself with and the involvement with your viewers really allows for a great show that constantly astounds and entertains. Keep up the inconsistent good work.
You get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out.
He was trying to do his roast a week late.
This guy does like our show.
Yeah, exactly. It came. No, that was 2 weeks late. I'm just gonna.
2 weeks late.
That's 2 weeks late. Congratulations, you got to work on your material 2 weeks longer than anyone else decided to, and your material was shit. So I mean I fucked up. I shit myself at the roast. I did not do a very good job at the roast. I probably did about as good as Mr. Happy did at the roast. But granted, if I'd been working on my material for 2 weeks, I would have been way better than you.
I don't think anybody worked on their material that long.
Would have been way better than you. So thanks for
Juxta wrote his on a fucking napkin.
Yeah.
3 napkins.
3 napkins.
And
at the bar, drunk, while talking to, what was his name, Ron?
Yeah.
Nice job.
Juxta, this next one, it's about the size for you to be able to make. See if you can make this without stumbling. I'll even let you pre-read it once if you want.
Simplest, how it's sad Reddit. Pillar organization.
Sad Reddit! That's it! Whole email. Sad Reddit.
Sad Reddit.
Sad Reddit. BG Pillar. Done.
Wolf Tamer. Period.
Wow.
Oh, God.
It was a joke, you bitch.
That was for a Nero hater. Because he obviously can't understand humor.
Escalia, you want to take the next one and try not to jumble your sentences?
Yeah,
this is the last one. We're calling it after this one.
Right.
This is it.
All right, I'm not sure if you all have talked about this already, as I am a fairly new listener, but the rating discussion on difficulty reminds me of the whole thing that happened with World of Warcraft Cataclysm.
Damn it, you fucked it up.
I did. Cataclysm introduced extremely
difficult... Don't rush through it, goddammit.
I don't know what I'm doing, man. Okay. Cataclysm introduced extremely difficult heroic dungeons. I personally like that and don't understand why people keep asking for easier content, especially in raids. Raids should be hard. You are talking about the biggest dudes. I really hope this does not happen to Final Fantasy. I am really enjoying the game. There are other adjectives besides really, so you know. Devs should not be afraid to make some content hard and keep it hard without nerfing it. This is also a little off topic, but what do you guys think about SE putting in a system for players to create their own quests and instance zones for those quests, like the way D&D Neverwinter does? It gives a lot of content to do and creativity from the players. I remember one of the most fun quests I have done in Neverwinter was a player-created quest that was a recreation of the story of Call of Cthulhu.
Great, it couldn't even be original.
Cool. Yeah. That is all Kal Fokar, a dragoon that cannot wait to ditch this stupid spear and pick up a Dark Knight sword.
Yeah, that's what's up.
You're dead to me.
Thank you, Call. Thank you for the email.
My favorite was, you're talking about taking down the biggest dudes.
Like, that is such a great line.
The biggest dudes.
It's the biggest dudes, man. You got to handle this.
No, there's some truth to that, though. Yeah, we hate it when people nerf stuff.
You gotta be careful. The biggest dudes are coming.
They're coming. The biggest ones.
The biggest dudes are coming.
And no, I do not want player-created content. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you see half of the fucking...
I just don't
see half of the glamour that this asshole over here doing the drops comes up with? You want to see that in a fucking dungeon?
I don't want them to throw development time behind something like that.
No.
At least not yet. It's especially with content hurting like it is. No.
But with content hurting like it is, maybe we need to rely on the players to create content.
No. This is not Little fucking Big Planet, man.
It's Mario Maker.
All right. We're going to take one last email. I'm going to take one last email here from Kipling. Hello, LBR. I was curious about your thoughts on the current level of difficulty in Alexander Savage and whether or not you think it should be changed. Yoshida recently came out and said that less people are clearing Alexander Savage than they originally anticipated, and thus a change is most likely coming in some ways. Many of the community are asking for something similar to Second Coil and Final Coil in terms of difficulty, where it started, where it is hard, but ultimately more about the mechanics than the DPS checks. Others are asking for the difficulty to stay where it is and asking for Savage mode raids to stay exclusive and extremely challenging. Yoshida seems torn on this, according to numerous 3.1 interviews released within the past few days. What do you guys think should be done, and what do you think SE will end up doing? Interested to hear what you think. Thanks for reading, Kipling. Thank you for the email, Kipling.
And we've obviously given a lot of thought and discussion about what we think between DPS checks and mechanics. And when it comes down to it, bottom line, DPS checks aren't skill-based. If you just straight up can't put out the required numbers, statistically,
it's gear-based. It's more gear-based than it is skill. It's more gear-dependent than it is skill-dependent.
And for me, anyway, skill-dependent content is more fun to do than DPS-checked stuff.
It really is. That's why I really like the Thornton fight so far.
Yep, and so for me, I think, even though I don't, obviously do a lot of the Savage raiding, is they need to go back to more skill-dependent stuff. And you know what? If people are clearing it in like a week or two because of that, at least we know they're clearing it because they can, and they're not just being, fucking grounded because we just don't have the gear possible yet.
But I really have to I think what Square Enix is waiting to see is what the impact of having the 210 gear in the diadem is going to have, and are people now going to feel like they actually have a real shot at Alex Savage, and will it ease some of those restrictions, those requirements, those DPS checks enough? To be able to justify that, or to be able to, have that statistic swing in Square Enix's favor. I don't know, but I think that's what they're going to wait for, and so I think more time has to elapse. We have to find out whether or not the diadem ends up re-energizing the raid community, which I don't think it will. Honestly, I don't think it will. I think for it to re-energize the raid community, people would have to be thinking a little bit more in long term, and they're not. But we've seen that the FF14 community does not think long term in terms of what they got, what they're going to be getting, and where the game is going to be going. And I don't hear much about the future direction. I mean, we hear like, oh, where's the story going to go? What are these characters going to do? But I don't think as many people are talking or thinking about what the progression of gear is going to look like. And I think we've spent a lot of time on this program unpacking that issue because it's so closely tied into incentive and what we get out of the events that we participate in. So I think it's going to be highly dependent on that, what Square Enix does. I do think that in my opinion, this was a step in the wrong direction, that this was a misstep, that they and I think the misstep actually came at introducing story mode, and I'm still going to stand by that. I still think that the story mode takes out a lot of the incentive for people to stay plugged in and to clear. But now that people can start thinking moving with a mind towards I need to get that A4S clear to be able to get to A5S, then I think we're going to start seeing some some people become interested in that
I just like to see them reverse the order. Come out with Savage Mode first.
Yes.
Let that sit for a week or two.
I agree.
Then drop the story
Let
mode.
it sit for until like the 0.25.
Yes, I agree.
Like the halfway through the patch, so that most of the people who want to try it do, and then
have that gear hole filled somewhere else, like that.
The way that you just said that, in agreement, felt like you got aroused.
A little bit. I got a chub, half chub.
Nika, stop giving Nero half chubs.
Yeah, you keep sending them to my delivery box, and it's weird. You cut chubs in half, and I don't know why you do that.
That's your penis.
It's so weird. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you cut a chub item in half. It's weird, but you stop sending it.
With my big femoral hands, they just break.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Poor Senpai.
Dear God.
Poor Senpai.
I'm sorry.
Like a vice.
She sits down when I starts rubbing his
Sorry,
leg.
not
He's
sorry.
like, no, not again.
Senpai lives in eternal fear.
Nika comes in.
We know where the real fists of fury lie.
Nika comes into the room. Me want snoo snoo. Oh God! All right. Thank you, Kipling, for the email. We appreciate it. That's the extension, in my opinion. Is that it's going to take more time to really see where it goes. But I think Square Enix is reading the tea leaves, and I think what they did with the diadem actually does give a little bit more to their side. That they are thinking about incentives, they are thinking about gear structure, and they're doing it with more thought than they had put in at the 2.0.
In completely unrelated news, tune in next week while Aniro tells us why the diadem is the death of the game.
Yeah, watch me flip my position next week. No, I don't know. We'll see.
Just flip off position.
Or flip off juxtaposition.
Anyway, all right, that's going to do it for us here at Limit Break Radio for this week. I really want to thank everyone who's joined us live at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. Make sure that you head on.
I would just like to say I am so sweaty and I really need to get out of here.
I know,
okay?
right? This studio's a bajillion degrees. Oh wait, guys, no one wants to hear that.
But if we stop saying that, we're inconsistent.
Yeah, well, and we wouldn't be truthful. We wouldn't be telling the absolute truth. Because that's what we do on this program. We tell the absolute truth.
And nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the truth. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us live at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. Make sure that you're participating in the bet. Donate to either...
Team Juxta.
Team Kahlo.
Donate to either... No, it's either Team Aniro or Team Juxta. And while we're live on either... while we're live at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio, and it will be totaled to either one of the camps. The first one to hit 2,500 will win the bet, and will get a tattoo live on the air. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to hear somebody get a tattoo and try to host a radio show, we're going to answer that question. We're also, the losers will be shaving either facial hair or their hair, or getting waxed in the case of Escalia over here. And so if you would like to join in on the bet, as we're going to call it, then tune in live to twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio whenever we're live. It doesn't matter who's live. It doesn't matter who's streaming. If Juxta is streaming, it doesn't mean that you're giving to Camp Juxta. If I'm streaming, it doesn't mean that you're giving to Camp Nero. That's decided by the hashtags. But we only ask that you give when we're live. If you give while we're not live, then that's not much of an incentive for us to be live. So we want more of an incentive for us to be live and to do more fun and engaging stuff for you guys on the stream. And we think that it may encourage better Twitch habits for all of us. And so everyone wins in that case. If you like Limit Break Radio, if you like what we do, I think everyone wins in this. You get to see us do something stupid on the air, and you also get to support an organization that really does genuinely need your help. We're not an ad-supported program. We don't run advertisements. We don't have sponsored content. We don't feed you bullshit. And because we don't do that, we have to come to you guys and ask you for support, whether it's through Patreon, whether it's through PayPal, or whatever. But we do think that you guys should get something out of giving to us. So if you want to be, if you want to be one of our Patreon members, head on over to patreon.com/Limit Break Radio and give whatever is comfortable for your budget every single month to be able to help Limit Break Radio maintain its monthly schedule and for us to be able to continue to expand over at finalencountercast.com. I want to thank everyone who's been joining us live, all 200 250 of you that have stayed throughout the entire 3 hours of the program. That number was as high as like 315, almost 320 at one point. Thank you guys so much for joining us here live at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. I also want to thank all of you who have been joining us live in the studio. This has been fantastic playing around with the iCam for the first time. I think that this is going to add a great new element to the show, and we really appreciate that you guys were like sitting in the chairs and populating the studio and making it look filled with people and inhabited. This has been really fun, and it's going to be a great way to show off the community here at Limit Break Radio. So if you don't have a mule on Sergeant Danis yet, make sure you make your mule and join us in the studio and each and every single week when we're here live at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. Tune in next week. Reddit mods are going to be on the show. We're going to be putting a pin in that drama, and we're going to be closing that up permanently. But we're also going to ask you what your thoughts and feelings were about the amount of content that we got with patch 3.1. Make sure that you're ready to go with your calls next week, because we want to hear what you have to say. You heard what we had to say on this episode. Next episode, we're going to want to hear what you have to say. Make sure that you check out our website, limitbreakradio.com. If this is your first time joining us and you want to check out the podcast, you can do that over at limitbreakradio.com. Subscribe and leave us some iTunes love. Help other people find the show and help Limit Break Radio continue to grow. Subscribe to us over at youtube.com/limitbreakradio and check out the roast of Aniro Grigori. It's up there live now. Everyone could check it out. Leave some comments and leave some love. Facebook.com/limitbreakradio and at Limit Break Radio on Twitter. That's going to do it for Limit Break Radio this week. I want to thank all of my co-hosts, Juxtaposition, Kahlo, Landis, Ascalia, Ryu Masa, and Nika Kayanian for joining me today. I'm Aniro. Keep listening. Limit Break Radio is a production of LimitBreakRadio.com and Bender Media Productions. Today's episode was produced by Juxtaposition. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. Funding for Limit Break Radio is provided by Miri Kennett, Scry De La Rosa, Zurian Urexin, Satori Komeji, Karkwin Albarn, Rajan Nelka, and fellow Limit Break Radio listeners. To support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. Opening music in this episode from Daniel Lambie. Listen to Man with the Machine Gun and other great tracks at facebook.com/Daniel Lambie Metal Gamer. Closing music in this episode provided by Husky by the Geek. Listen to this and other great Final Fantasy XIV and video game rock covers and original music at facebook.com/Husky by the Geek. In-game graphics for Limit Break Radio's Twitch stream are provided by Diamond Multimedia. Check out their line of AMD graphics cards and other hardware at diamondmm.com. Limit Break Radio and its hosts are solely responsible for its content.